Heyo, welcome to Krisis and Freddie Jammin on Comics. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault. Hello to Krisis from half a world away. How are you?
Hello.
Good to see you.
It is good to see you. I need some comfort jamming today. I'm very, very happy to spend some time with friends today. Let me tell you.
Nice. Well, it's Friends Day, not Wednesday. It's Friends Day. I just
Friends Day. I didn't know. Nobody told me that I needed to have a friend. You've got Dupe. Freddie's got a friend. I've got nothing.
Sorry.
You have
Freddie, you have a friend. What is your friend's name? Now featuring Matt. Oh, okay.
Yes, this is Matt. Hi, yep, Matt. Nice to meet everybody.
And how did you two nerds meet?
Possibly the most nerdy way possible.
Good.
On the video game forum for Mass Effect 2. So it's yeah.
How long have you been going seeing each other as friends?
13, 14, 15 years at this point?
14 years. That's good. And you've met in person how many times besides this time?
Once before when he came visit me, except I didn't let him stay in my house. He stayed in a hotel. He was supposed to be staying with a friend that was going to travel with him. Like the whole reason was he wasn't actually going to see me. He was supporting his friend who was going to meet his online girlfriend who was my sister's best friend, and that's how they met. And he flaked that very same day. So Matt came along and he gets picked up by the girlfriend and me, and yeah.
It was a whole thing.
And then I just let him stay there alone for a few nights.
I had trouble following that, but as long as he's not stalking you or keeping you prisoner or anything, like in some type of movie, everything's okay. Then do you need to blink twice, Freddie, if you're okay?
Wait, let me blink on top of the Omnidog sign. I'm blinking. Can you see me?
You're supposed to set up these codes ahead of time. If Matt knows, then it's not quite as effective.
Yeah. Blink twice if you need rescuing.
For today, so
you forced him to go where?
A thrift shop.
Yeah,
thrift shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they also went to two pretty cool comic stores. Was it you went to Mile High Comics?
Yeah.
Yep, and Hero Headquarters.
It's okay. So I'm doxing you by saying you're somewhere in the Denver area.
I was going to say, is Freddie in the contiguous United States today?
Yes. I decided to flee, and then I flew, and then I fled to possibly one of the worst places to go. Yeah. Not Denver particularly, but somewhere that Peter himself has escaped from.
Oh, the United States.
And may never return at this rate.
Possibly.
Okay. Rising Phoenix says, Krisis, you have a friend in me.
Oh, thank you.
Here's our friend from the Great White North, True Graphic. Welcome. Super Laugh Hard from Bonnie, Scotland. James giving everybody's everything. James from the Midwest. What else is James showing, Peter? Samantha, a fellow Kiwi of yours.
Hey, Samantha. One day, Samantha and I are going to get to be on one together. I really want to hang out with Samantha. Maybe I'll drop in on a Batter Days one time.
That'd be good. Yeah, I could schedule you both on Batter Days. That'd be great. Joey Richards, also from Down Under.
I'm slowly amassing a group of like-minded comic fan antipodians. To stage a result or possibly a revolt. Antipodians mean it's below the equator.
Oh, thank you.
South Americans too. Any South American viewers here on the Omnidog channel?
I think that's the first time Antipodians had been used on my show, and it wasn't by Next Imaginaut, so I was having trouble figuring out what you were saying. But okay, Antipodians. Wow,
I learned that word from Rufus Wainwright. I saw him here. And he used that to refer to us, and I totally did. I was pretty new to New Zealand and Wellington. I was like, "What did he just call us?" I had to get on my phone and look up the word in the middle of a concert.
Matt's here, or is this a stream where Peter is literally going to throw a bunch of single issues on the ground and proceed to stand on them while he plays shredding electric guitar?
We hope so.
I was talking to a friend of the channel, Max, who's another guitar nerd. I could have a whole guitar corner with all the chats about guitar I have all week with Max on Discord. And I was saying, I don't know that I've plugged in an electric guitar here, like since I've lived here like 7 years. I play guitar constantly, and I've plugged in my acoustic electrics just to get like some vibe or put a little tremolo on them. And I've played my electric unplugged, but I don't know that I've like rocked out. I have a really big Fender amp, and I don't know if I've used it a single time here because all my amps are American Power. They're 110 voltage. So it's like I have to do like a whole step down converter or step up converter situation if I want to use them. And I have so many that I'm like, it's pointless to start spending money to buy amps in New Zealand. Surely I can like just, but life. And then 7 years goes by. So
that's the way it goes. Oh, Beyond Comics, I believe, is also a Kiwi. Is he not? Beyond Comics, are you a Kiwi? I feel like you're a Kiwi. Now he's going to tell me he's from New Jersey.
I'm from Jersey.
I'm from Jersey.
Jersey.
Hi to
like
Safar. Welcome. Chris Brogan. Good to see you.
Chris.
The Brewski.
Chris sent me such a nice note after we couldn't do the show last week. I am not used to New Zealand allergies, and they're usually not that bad. And I just got hammered last week. And I was like, if I come on the show, it's going to be with like toilet paper stuck out of my nose to stop me from allergying over. And Chris like actually checked in on me to be like, are you okay? You missed the show, and I know you really enjoy it.
Well, Chris, props to you. Thank you for checking on him. I feel like I check on you, but I don't know if I do.
Well, that goes without saying, but not all of the viewers check on me. Is what is my point.
Yeah,
not that you need to, not that you should. That gets parasocial very quickly. But Chris sent me a very nice note. Yeah.
Welcome to William Lee. Yeah, no, I'm not the best. Oh, here's another Scott. Oh, damn, someone new. I got to pretend to be nice. Nah, you can just be yourself, Hayden. I think I have a guest already. Thank you, scheduler James. I feel like I already have a guest for November 30th. It was going to be, as a matter of fact, it was going to be Batmantha, but she had obligations that took priority rather. So I'm having Larry's Library on November 30th. But I like the idea of you and Batmantha being on.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into a Lady Gaga stream really quickly, though. You have to appreciate that.
Is she a big Gaga fan?
Oh, yeah. We had on your Discord, we had a special minute of listening party when our new single came out, which I'm sure we will repeat when the album comes out eventually.
I think that's the whole reason she went to see Joker 2 and was so bitterly disappointed by it. Yeah. She was very displeased with it. Hey, Miriam. Hey, nerds.
Nerds.
Here's Elon from Wales. Man, I have an international audience. This is
you really do. It's really cool. Like, I don't know that I watch many YouTube shows that is so immediately international from so many different places just in the introduction.
You need to watch more than Very Fine Condition. This is the channel that's got it going on, man. And I think it's Elon's birthday today. So happy birthday, Elon. Let me give you some confetti, some balloons. There we go. Happy birthday to Lobster Hybrid. I'm not anti-what's-it, but like a solid chunk of my family is in Australia, so I'm here for the revolt, okay? Work it out with Peter. I'm from Earth 3. Our Jess is called Manga Cat and reviews nothing but manga. Good to have you here. Jaggernaut, also from the Great White North. Sazmerv. Yes, hey, 3 Kiwis here. We're taking over. I thought Beyond Comics was a Kiwi. Logan Wayne, welcome. I'm so up for a bad romance. What? Did I say anything about that, or is that a Gaga reference?
That's a Gaga reference.
Oh, is it? Okay. I actually saw Gaga in concert back in like 2012 with my daughter. It was epic, but I only knew her songs at the time, like whatever they were.
Bad Romance.
Bad Romance was one of them.
Was that one of them? Yes. She probably sang it in concert, and it was fun. I had fun with my daughter.
A story often tell, so some of you might have heard this Krisis lore before, is so I got into La Gaga relatively early, but not early enough to catch her when she was doing the little gritty club tours. But I remember when Fame Monster first came out and Bad Romance was the lead single, and it was like the #1 single in the United States and the world. And I had my first solo headlining show at this club, this little folk club in Philly. I'd been wanting to play my whole life, called the Tin Angel, that I had been seeing people in at that point for probably like 15 plus years, sneaking in before I was 21 years old, just because it was 21 plus. And so I got on stage at this folk club and like played my original songs, and I was like, I'm going to do a thing I'll never get the chance to do again, and that you will never experience again here in the Tin Angel stage. I'm going to play the #1 song in America. And I proceeded to play Bad Romance acoustically in this folk club. And I, to this day, have friends who came to that show that were like, I'm a Lady Gaga fan because you played Bad Romance. And I was like, oh, is that song by that Gaga person? And then they went and looked her up, and then they became Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2010? 2009
Okay.
or 2010. Yeah.
I'm sure I have
Whenever
heard
Bad
that.
Romance came. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard it, but I haven't.
I don't want to get the copyright strike, but I could cover it at a moment's notice.
I should listen to it with the sound off so I know what you're talking about.
It starts with the whoa, 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 you know.
Yeah.
It starts with a what? You just froze there. Do that again. What? It starts with a what?
No, there's not gonna be
You
one.
froze. We couldn't. Okay.
I legitimately froze.
You froze.
No. You sort of
Because
froze.
the guitar is right there.
Yeah.
If I just play Bad Romance in 5-second increments throughout the show, I don't think it will trigger the copyright strike.
I can't afford one.
Yeah, just can't afford that kind of drama. That kind of smoke.
Sato's here with his wife. Good. Keep an eye on him, Mrs. Sato.
Yes.
I don't trust that guy. You keep him where you can keep your eyes on him. He's always up to nutty comments.
I'm trusting him with an animal, man. So you know.
Right. Where's the cat?
Oh, the cat is on the lap. He's right here.
Oh, hey, cat.
Hello, I'm having a great time. Also, not being held prisoner at all. There's no hostages.
Yeah, maybe Matt should be the one that's blinking. I don't know. I haven't figured out the dynamic
Being
yet.
held prisoner in his own home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
there's a.
the artist.
Oh, we have a Doctor Who.
So we have
fan.
that
Okay.
kind of nerd.
Deadpool hat on. Okay, we're
Peter, how many times have you read the Dazzler bus so far?
None. I have not been reading any comics lately. I've just been so crazy with stuff, and I got sucked. We'll talk about it, but I got sucked into the DC Finest madness, and we'll talk about that while we get into things. And so a lot of my comic reading time turned into comic mapping time. I'm like, if you just dangle like a potential comic map on a stick in front of me, I just will walk in any direction. I would, fall into a pit trap, walk straight into a wall. If I think I can go and map a comic book collection, I totally lose all logic and self-preservation.
Yeah, you do have that special something when it comes to mapping that stuff that I don't have. I feel like if I was invited on a Map My Whatever stream, it would be like my mom dragging me into Macy's when I was 8. My energy would just fall and I'd flomp on the floor and just go, no, I don't want to be here.
Well, my favorite thing about mapping is it's like the ultimate nerd with a spreadsheet thing, but it also gets into like reading order and ideal reading order. And then sometimes it has like a little greatest hits aspect to it, especially when you're like, no, that issue doesn't have to be in there. It's pointless. And so it kind of like merges a lot of the things I really like about comics, which is like the organizational aspect, and then the like finding the perfect way to consume them aspect, and then the kind of like fight over what's good aspect. And then I love publishing, and printing, and I love the construction of books and stuff. So I love speculating of like, what's going to be too many pages, or like what's going to be impossible for them to fit in, or when would they break it into 2, or what would the price point be? So I'm just too big a nerd for all those.
Well, but you also have what I lack, and it is an almost like, especially when you got my X-Men books in order,
which was the origin story really of this show.
Yeah, you're right. It is. You have a phenomenal memory, whereas I do not have much of a memory of. I mean, I can pull stuff that I did when I was 8 years old in summer camp or something, but as soon as I read a comic, it pushes out whatever comic I just read, and I'm like, this comic am good. We'll do a video on it soon, and I don't I'm like, what? How do either like you and Riley and Very Fine all have those amazing? Well, you're up at the top, and those guys are below you as far as
Very Fine.
Remarkable. Very Fine's at the bottom. No, he's pretty amazing too. I got to give it to Omar. He is pretty remarkable when it comes to that memory thing, and I just don't have that retention, and I'm always getting called out on it, so I just lean into it. Yeah, my memory sucks, and I have a show, so what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Peter and Michelle, looking at your last name, please tell me you're from Europe and not South Dakota or something, like you're immigrants or something from someplace interesting in Europe. Tell me that my reach has spread to what does that look like? Does it look like I'm not even gonna guess because I'm sure I'm gonna insult them.
Like that seems very Dutch.
Okay, if you're not Dutch, he insulted you. I did not. I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna say Netherlands, but I wasn't sure. Oh, a fourth Kiwi.
Oh.
And everyone hates being compared to the Dutch, those awful Dutch.
Speaking of the Dutch, I told Max I wanted to highlight. He gives me every week, and this has been going on for a long time, where he gives me and I never asked for this, but he gives it to me. His rundown. He's mostly a Marvel reader. Actually, he's almost exclusively a Marvel reader, and he gives me a rundown of what he reads. And he's usually fairly brutal, but he said in light of my trying to be positive, he was going to start being relentlessly positive and all his reviews. And so
two of them, they're pretty funny, the positive ones.
Yeah, when sometimes it's like there were colors in this issue.
Yeah, that's like Wolverine 3. I enjoyed the coloring.
The coloring is pretty good.
5. The art is acceptable. I went back to one, and there was not a single typo in this entire issue.
That was my favorite.
He sends these to you too? He's cheating on me.
Well, he sends them to you, and then he says, "Hey, I just sent something to Jess. Do you want?" I'm like, "Okay."
Chasm, Curse of Cain, number 4. I cannot comment on this book. Oh wait, one page there were 2 giant monsters, and those look cool. Okay, moving on. But he does like some things. He likes Immortal Thor 17, Miles Morales 26. Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, number 2. Yes. Excellent issue. This is basically McKay's continuation of his Moon Knight story. It's very good. Gorgeous art too. Loved it. Phases of the Moon, number 4. Really fun issue. 2 stories. First being a female Moon Knight set in a dystopian future. It's already the final issue, though. He loves Scarlet Witch, which of course he does, because it's great. Stupid Lou on Omni Bros. He has to read it by the end of the year. Venom War Lethal Protector. It was the final issue. There will not be any more of these. That's the best he can say about it. Spooey here. Welcome, Spooey. Yes, what? Huh?
I pity Elon for something they just said. It's very funny.
The Born This Way ball changed my life. Well,
I think that's the one you went to, Jess.
I think you're right. I think that's what I went to with my daughter. Was that 2012-ish?
Ish, yeah.
Because
did it also change your life?
I loved the show. I actually I liked her music up and I haven't listened to it since then. It's just not in my wheelhouse. But I definitely love and respect her a lot.
We have to make Jess like all right, we have to collab. Sam, it's time for a collab. Kiwi collab. We have to make Jess like a not more than 30 minutes catch up on Lady Gaga since the Monsters Ball. Like stuff Jess would like or be surprised by. Like we'll put a million reasons on there, right? Jess will be like, "Whoa, that's Lady Gaga," but then we'll put some like bangers. We'll get some 911 or something in there too. But we got to collab. We'll have to collaborate on that.
Yeah, and you gotta put Alejandro because that's a brainworm.
Well, Alejandro was just almost certainly saw that in concert. So if we're just catching him up to present,
You can throw in Telephone. That's my favorite one.
well, you know that already.
Exactly.
Jeff.
That's
I know, but that's how you get me going. Oh, this is Lady Gaga. Yay. Not, oh, this is some random person they're
Okay, so
sending.
we gotta warm you up a little. I love Alejandro because to me, Alejandro, and I'm sure knowing her as I do that this was intentional, it is obviously a love letter to Ace of Base and like Don't Turn Around and all that she wants from the record The Sign, which I think originally Europe was Happy Nation, then America was The Sign because that was the hit. It's Alejandro has such an Ace of Base vibe to it, and I'm just sure that's connected.
I can honestly say I do not know any Ace of Base music.
Ace of Base, that was in the early 90s, Jess. Come on.
You think I was any different then? I've been me my whole life.
No, that's true.
I'm just nodding polite. Yes, Ace of Base, of course.
It's killing me because I know how to play all of these songs and the guitar is right there.
Oh, Serial Lover. Hello, SoCal representing. Just finished a 45-minute run. Looking forward to the stream as I cool down. Good to see you, Serial Lover. Isn't every Lady Gaga song a single? She's so goated. Okay.
That's like an Omnidog, but a goat.
It's a good thing. Goat, greatest of all time, right?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Not old goat.
Oh, we have an excellent point. Excellent point from News Pooey Channel in the comments.
Okay, wait. Let me get down to it. This one?
No.
Further? I'm
We'll
20 minutes behind
We'll
already. Spooey, where are you?
Just you, Jess.
Okay, let me.
Like the
Spooey,
newest
Spooey,
one.
Spooey,
Then you
Spooey,
can go
Spooey,
back
Spooey.
up.
Spooey, what the hell did you say that was so good that I have to go?
I'll read it for you. He says, Ace of Base if you watch X-Men 97. But I will say, no, we've heard Ace of Base. That is not the same as knowing them.
That was the song when Rogue was dancing with Magneto and was like bumping. That was an Ace of Base song.
Oh, okay. Then I have heard them. I have the X-Men 97 soundtrack, which is totally great on colored vinyl. It's awesome. It's on my turntable now. Did you see that? Okay. Keen. That's a great word. I need to use keen more often. That's like
that's a good one that's used a lot down here. I really like it.
Down there, yeah, but it's not used enough anywhere else. Like it's like a Brit thing. And then I'm chuffed. That's a Brit thing. Do they use chuffed in?
Yeah, that's here. I feel like I see people write it more than I've heard people say it, but I just might not be hanging out with the right people.
Yeah, Matt lives in England for a year.
I did for a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you absorb from that experience?
Exactly.
Primarily.
Obsession with soccer and the Premier League. But
okay.
Sorry. I know. There's no strike against me. I'm sorry. I'll just go sit in the corner.
What, soccer?
Yeah. Like my nerd stuff is in the wrong section of the board here.
My daughter loves soccer because she started watching it after our football team in 2022 was so bad. She subscribed to Peacock just so she could see the Premier League. And she's totally into it. Wait, let me think of who her favorite team is. I think it's somebody that probably Elan or Super Laugh Hard knows who her favorite team is. I don't. You guys know better than I do, since I'm sure I said it at one point. Is it Liverpool? Or am I thinking of the Beatles because I've been reading too much Beatles stuff? I don't know.
His favorite team. That's all I know. He talks to me about soccer every single time there's a game going on. And my question is like, an hour, 2 hours. He says, "Oh, they're not that long." But an hour into it, I ask, "Has anyone scored yet?" No, but they're close. Okay.
I did enjoy Ted Lasso. I will say that. That was some good television. Was about to read Birthright by Joshua Williamson. Then I got the YouTube alert.
No, screw us. Go read Birthright. I love that book so much. I'm so excited. It finally got a deluxe edition. I feel if I can just take 0.1% responsibility for that, for stumping for it so hard for so long. I have the complete run of it somewhere. Direct here. I have it right here. Oh God, it's going to kill my entire internet if I turn. I have the whole run of it right there.
Same. Now,
And I'm also getting the deluxe edition. It's probably my favorite Josh Williamson book. I just think it's so clever.
Peter,
People haven't read it. It's like, what if Conan had actually been born on Earth and got like whisked away to Conan world, but then came back older? Sort of like, I feel like there's like a classic 80s movie that does that, where the person goes away as a kid and then they come back older. Is it like The Last Starfighter or something? I can't remember. Somebody in the comments will remember. And so kind of like all the ramifications of his family being like, oh my gosh, you're back and you're alive, but you're this like giant Conan. But also now the door to that like fantasy Conan world is kind of like cracked open and things are coming through. And there's some mystery around, did he open the door? Did he just fall through the door? Did he intentionally leave it open behind him? And that kind of, it's a 50-issue series. It has a very clear beginning, end, and epilogue. Really well structured. Beautiful, beautiful art by Andre Brzan. I think his first name is Andre. And colors, Andre Brzan. And colors by Adriano Lucas, who you will all know because he's the colorist on Tom Taylor's Nightwing. And this is where I kind of totally fell in love with his colors. I don't know, Jess, you've also read it. What would you add to that?
I haven't read the final volume, but I loved volume 1 through 9 and said, I don't care about the deluxe. I'm just going to get volume 10 and stick with my sucky trades.
Well,
but I loved it enough to buy all 10 trades because it was really, let me highlight you real quick.
Yeah, just showing off some
awesome.
cool art, but then there's also some like interpersonal stuff too. But yeah, he's just like this big Conan dude. It's really cool. And the colors are just out of this world.
Whisked away as a child. Now, Peter, if somebody wants to buy that hardcover deluxe, where do you think they should go to buy that book?
Well, we are very lucky to have a friend of the channel, JP, who started a site called Organic Priced Books. And his whole goal was, what if I could do low pricing and then sell you the book as somebody who loves the books too? So I'm going to take care of it from the point that it gets to my warehouse to the point that it goes in the box, to the point that you receive it and love it yourself. And so it's awesome that he offers a code here. The code is Omnidog that you enter at checkout to get a discount, and your books will arrive in beautiful condition. And you'll know that you're buying from a fellow fan instead of just some faceless company, faceless, nameless company. It's organic because it is bespoke. It is a real person behind it.
Wow. I need to hire you to do all my ads. 5% off shipping 4 or more books together. Omnidog, sit. Thank you for that. That was...
Oh, so there's 2 different codes.
Yeah. There's
Omnidog.
Whoops. There's Omnidog, which gets you $2 off. But the big savings are when you ship 4 or more books together, you get 5% off. Yes, I used my own code to get 5% off there. You better believe I do.
High in your own fumes. High in your own supply.
Wait. Okay, now I'm just going to go back and forth because I don't know where I am in the chat. I've been mapping Judge Dredd, Judge Anderson, including the Batman crossovers, and it's a tricky business.
Oh my gosh, super laugh hard. Do you want to maintain a Judge Dredd guide page? Get at me, because I'm never going to understand it well enough to maintain it by myself. Maybe we can come to an arrangement.
Here's Marvel Bab from the UK. Good to see you. Always.
Isn't it like 1 a.m? What are all these people doing?
Marvel Bab is a diehard fan. I really appreciate him. Like all my diehard fans. Goated by okay, I almost got cut off. Blah, blah, blah. Bad Lady Gaga and the Muppets.
Yeah, that was great. Anything with Muppets really, for me, is the peak of art.
Krisis opening was so epic it froze the stream.
Oh, bad romance.
Rah, rah, Oh, is that what starts? Yeah. No. That.
Well, it's first there's the whoa. Then there's the rah. Then it does the dun 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 dun, and then the verse.
Okay. I thought that song was called something different. I can't hum it because I hum so well it'll get me demonetized.
I mean, it might get you demonetized for offensive content. Yeah. So I was just actually rewatching her on James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, and she's explaining that the whole Gaga was
okay.
I do know
that song.
It's her saying, romance, ooh la la. It's like her kind of like parsing that out syllable by syllable, and that's where it came from. And I thought that was See, Sam, we're going to turn it into a Lady Gaga stream even before you're on the stream. Think of what it's going to be like with the two of us in the stream together. Far too powerful.
Did Peter just say he's going to create a spreadsheet mapping 1970s Batman for DC Finest?
I am several steps ahead of you, 84 to be specific, because a wonderful person on Curtis's, they're not Epic Collections, but I'm used to saying Curtis's DC Finest group named Joey Hines, who's another singer-songwriter. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's another comic nerd who is also a singer-songwriter. How cool. He mapped all of Batman from the golden age to like 2000, but he had it in a flat file, just like a Google Doc. And I was like, can I be a part of your world? Because I can turn this into like a beautiful spreadsheet that will like auto calculate the issues and the number of covers and stuff. So we collaborated and we built a spreadsheet that mapped all of the DC Finest. And we're working our way through the mapping of every single announced line. And then we're doing stuff that hasn't been announced too. Let me see how many books have been mapped so far. So far we have mapped, that's not, hold on, give me a second to use my spreadsheet powers. We have mapped over 200 books. And it's not just speculative mapping, because that's just for like when we do omnibuses and like you could miss by 20 issues or 40 issues. These books have a very specific page length. So we're actually importing story by story and the page count for each story and then figuring out the explicit release order. And then we're calculating the exact page length for that. And that's how we're figuring out how the books break out.
I don't see
how it exists. Join Curtis's group. Joey linked it.
I don't see how you could possibly stay out of heaven for doing God's work like that.
We're doing DC's work. They probably don't even have all this figured out yet. Pay some Marvel. One of you needs to pay me eventually. Okay.
They really do.
Now, I just had I recognize Paul's name because he and I have been commenting back and forth on the most recent YouTube I did video, 10 regular old, I don't know what it's called, 10 regular old books that need to be made absolute, something like that. And he said, do you happen to have the Tales of the Batman Steve Englehart? Because Englehart and Marshall Rogers would be a great book to be absoluted. And I looked, and that's like the one I don't have. And so now I'm all kerfluffered because I don't have that book. And I have all the other Legends of the Dark Knight, Tales of the Batman. I've got Tales of the Batman, Tim Sale, and I barely even love his art, but I've got all of them.
Whoa, that's like a Art Adams level take from you.
Really?
You don't like Tim Sale?
Look at this book.
Serviceable, but not great.
Do you know how I ended up with this book?
How?
I was high from pain medicine after a hernia operation.
Not from the Organic Price Books code, or that's
no. This is before Organic Price Books got invented. It was like 2017. I had a hernia operation. I was zonked out of my mind at 1 o'clock in the morning on pain, still the residual pain meds from like I got in the hospital, and I said, "Oh, I need this book," and I got it, and I did a live unboxing, and I was like, I don't even remember ordering this. What is this? What? Tim Sale? What? I like Jeff Loeb, but I'm like, but I have to say, I have a lot more love for Tim Sale after Superman for All Seasons. That is Tim Sale, right?
Yeah, that is Tim Sale.
It is. Okay. I love his art in that book, and I love that book. How did I get here? Somehow.
At least that high order must have come with 2% extra from loyalty, right?
It did.
Always.
Yeah. So that's how I got the Tim Sale book, and so maybe I'm going to dig it now that I love for All Seasons. I'll dig that. Peter, your reading orders are your readings are all, that's probably all awesome, man. Yeah. And I agree with that. think the worst and the finest. Look at Batman Year 2. Okay, we're not talking about Batman Year 2. This is not very fine condition.
I was gonna say if you say Batman Year 2 3 times, Omar does appear.
Yeah, I can't afford to have that happen. I don't want to ruin this stream.
No,
New Zealand, but was born in the Netherlands. Okay, so we got it covered.
Yes.
Finland, no, never mind. Okay, happy birthday to Elon. Everybody's going crazy. Peter, your reading orders are so awesome, man.
Oh,
Okay,
there, got it right. That's the one I saw.
Okay, crazy helpful in the insane fun world of X-Men spin-offs. Thank you.
Well, and those really could use a revision because they're like 12 or 13 years old right now. And I think I just understand the reading order game a lot better. It's kind of like I understand, when you're younger and you hear about people like remastering a movie or like re-recording a song, and you're like, why bother? Like it was fine. I like it. Now that it's been 13 years since I've done those reading orders, I'm like, okay, I'm much more talented at this now. I hope I've done it live on air with people before. I think I have a much better way to approach this. So I'm with Kid Krisis right now. We're about 2 or 3 months post Onslaught right now, and that I'm going by my reading order, and it is completely unhelpful. I'm like, I really need to revise this one. I know people use it and it's fine, but now that I understand the issue to issue continuity better, I'm like, no, this could be better. But there's only so many hours in the day, and I've been getting up at 4:45 every morning to go swimming, so
I walked to my physical therapy appointment today and back. That's my exercise.
That is great. You got some sunlight, you got some fresh air. And walking I truly believe walking is when the gears turn in your brain. Like it gives you time to like process. I believe.
I've been walking a lot. It was started with doctor's orders in February, and it's very helpful. And my back feels better. So yay physical therapy, yay walking, whatever. Okay. I've heard that our memory works and is stored in different parts of our brain depending on how we read something, see something, and hear something. I just remember where I could find that. Funny story I will tell briefly. When I was first dating upper management, very first dating upper management, she called me. I was at her apartment, and she said, "Can you go to the bookstore and pick up a book for me? I can't remember the name of it. It's under my name, but I just can't remember the name of it." And I go, okay. So I pick it up, and it's The Executive's Guide to Improving Your Memory.
Wow.
Couldn't even remember the name of it. And I'm like, if that's not an upper management move, I don't know what is. It was great. That was probably our first thing we laughed at together. Max sends me something very different. Oh.
Yeah. I pity Elon for receiving them.
Lou has 41 days left to I think we need to jam him up Friday night. Jess would be a Joanne era Gaga fan.
I think he would be really surprised by Joanne era. That's why I really want to get him listening to some Joanne tracks. I love that as like an acoustic person myself, to see her like come out. Anytime somebody puts a cowboy hat and holds an acoustic guitar, like when Madonna did it on Music, when she came out with Don't Tell Me, and even the art for Music was all her and cowboy with a hat, and then she's got an acoustic guitar in the back cover. And as soon as I see one of my pop girlies with an acoustic guitar, it's like the antenna. I'm like, what's this? What's this? Acoustic pop girly. So I go crazy. Even if they just like strum one chord, it just makes me insane. So when Gaga actually like played guitar, I just went off.
Did we want to have as a feature on this show album recommendations? I forget that because I don't think we did it last time. I don't know if we did it time.
I don't think we've done it at least twice before.
I don't think we budget the time well. We get to the end and we're like, and albums, goodbye. Yeah.
Okay. I can grab some if we do want to do it. Discord voice. If you really want to see Jeff live reaction, okay. James has posted something. Where is it, James? Wait, where you posted it in? Did you post it in?
Trying to read Discord chat and YouTube chat at the same time right now.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not one new mention where halls and libraries. No, that's not it. James, if you did something here, tell me what you did. I'm not seeing
Like,
it.
Freddie and Matt, how are you doing up there? A lot of me talking.
Yeah.
Doing good. I was thinking about cowboy hats, like the Giver from Chaperone, the new one.
Yeah, Pop
Yeah.
Girlies with an acoustic guitar. I mean, she
Yeah.
didn't play one, but you know.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get Matt into Chaperone. I sent him some concerts. He has not listened to them.
I listened to some of them.
Okay.
On Halloween we went out to one of the clubs here. Me, my husband, and a couple of our friends, and Hot to Go was playing, and like it was stuck in my head on repeat for a week and a half, and I was just like, okay, I get it now. I'm here.
Oh, this is a knife. I've never seen a younger person say chuffed. Okay. I'm not saying it then, man. Forget it. You can also be well chuffed. What I've heard, and I was introduced to me on the Facebook page of Riley's, chuffed to bits. I'm chuffed to bits that this comic book came in. Okay, but now that Samantha says that's a sign of being old, F it, I am old, so I don't care.
Well,
I'll
she didn't
just
say
say,
it was a sign of old. It could be a sign of middle age, Jess.
oh, like that's better. I also I have heard those the Tony Bennett Lady Gaga one. Yeah, they were magic together.
Yeah.
I love jazz standards. Like, I'm a real sucker. Anybody who does really well produced jazz standards. I think there's a reason that songbook is enduring and that we still can like bop along to those songs now 70 years later in some cases.
And here's the neediest person on the planet, Jake from The Brave and the Boys. Hey, beautiful people. Can we ask why Omnidog didn't follow me back on Blue Sky?
Has Omnidog even followed me on Blue Sky? What the heck, Omnidog?
Have you logged in last year?
I have Blue Sky. That's about it. I posted a couple of videos on it, and now people are asking me to follow them back.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
You have to wait. There's two Omnidogs, both with your adorable dog face.
I know.
Which one with
I
a
need
real
to get...
Omnidog? Please stand up.
I need to get rid of that first one, even though it has more people following me. I think I created it when somebody said, "Hey, Blue Sky's a thing," and I was like, "Oh, I better." Oh, I know. I said I better get my name on there before somebody takes it from me, like happened with my Gmail, where I'm Omnidogs Vault 201, just plain and 1. Somebody already got my name. I don't know why. They haven't done anything with it.
Well, that's why I have like a panic attack every time there's a new social network. Because I'm like, if I don't get Krisis with a K, there's this like Twitch streamer Krisis. I'm like, I've been Krisis since before you were born. Back off, kid.
Okay, here's Chelsea all the way. This looks like some type of sport stuff. Tottenham sport stuff. Hello to Axel. More international stuff. What? Is it Man U? I don't wait. Let me text. Let me text junior management and see what she likes. Who is the soccer team you're following in England or the Premier League or whatever the hell it is? Okay, we'll find out that way. Wow, whoa, is that, what language is that? Is that your language, Axel? Okay, good.
That's
next.
Axel, is that picture, is that Statesman from City of Heroes? Please answer in the comments. I'll see it like 20 minutes before Jess.
Wait, what sign? Eventually Jess will see the sign and it will open up in his mind. Is that my third eye?
But then he'll be happy without us. I don't want that to happen. What?
Oh, next Imaginat shows up. A betrayal most bitter to Jake. Thank you very little, next Imaginat. What? How did we get on Jumanji?
Oh,
I don't know. That one I
the
didn't
movie.
follow.
Yeah, this was, you were asking about, what was it? The boy disappeared and came back a man. Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Jumanji. I was old when that came.
Somebody
I'm talking about when I was a child back in the Stone Age.
Somebody also mentioned Flight of the Navigator, which I thought...
That's what it is. Flight of the Navigator. It's the opposite of Flight of the Navigator. Why does he come back younger? And maybe I'm just
He
thinking of
stays a
Cocoon.
kid,
I
but
don't
he goes
know.
into the future, so everybody else has aged up, but he's still a kid in it.
Wow.
And so like he's been missing for like 10 years or something like that, and it's like a whole thing. And then like he has to go back in time to undo all the bad stuff that
I used to
happened.
love that movie, Matt.
Uh,
Are you like a big 80s movies fan, or you just happen to have that one in your brain?
My dad is, yes. Like any obscure 80s movie I've probably heard of because he was obsessed with all of them.
Okay, so I can pull out one of my favorite obscure 80s movies that nobody ever talks to me about. One of my favorite horror movies of all time is House from 1985. It's like a horror comedy. Are you aware of this movie?
Okay, so you've now stepped outside of my
Oh,
horror.
wow.
Horror is like the one thing where like my family just doesn't really do horror. So like,
Okay.
yeah, if it's sci-fi, if it's like fantasy stuff, more than likely we got you.
So Legend.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Was that that was
Tom
wasn't
Cruise.
Tom Cruise,
As a
yeah.
little fairy twink.
And there's a little fairy that went around, and was that the one where Tim, what's his name, was the
Dr.
devil?
Frankenfurter as the devil. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Tim,
Curry?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Thank you.
Who I do is my Mr. Sinister voice whenever we read X-Men. There's
Oh,
a video. There's a video out there of me doing Mr. Sinister as Tim Curry as Dr. Frankenfurter.
Oh yeah, I
narrating.
think I've heard that, and it's awesome.
Yeah, he did.
I think it started on this channel. Actually,
start
this,
here.
this is not new information. This I've told this one before.
Birthright, excited to dive in. VFC FOMO'd me. It's a beautiful deluxe edition.
Yeah. I got the first paperback of Birthright, and as soon as I finished it, I said, I'm not going to keep this. Deserves to be a deluxe. And several years later, here we are.
And also,
Yeah,
we
you're
should have
welcome.
known because it's Skybound, and out of all the Image imprints, Skybound A is good at that, and B knows how to make money. So
Yeah.
Skybound now that, and I think I was waiting for it to get like adapted or something, but it's just because Williamson is so omnipresent right now, writing so much of DC and also writing the G.I. Joe books that I just think Williamson has enough name cachet to just start doing other series. I think the only deluxe he's gotten so far for his indie work is, I want to say, just for Nailbiter, because I think Ghosted only got a compendium. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a deluxe of Ghosted too.
Oh, I loved Ghosted.
No.
Yeah, when I first discovered Williamson, I was so into it, and people are so like hot and cold on him now. I just remember just devouring all in a row, like Ghosted, Nailbiter, Birthright, like all of his indie stuff. I pretty much read all at once because like, who is this guy? So I like that he's like a famous comic writer now, and he writes all of DC. Like, good. That's what we want to see. We want to see indie people come up, write great indie stuff, and then turn into Williamson and Tynion and all these, awesome people. Right? I was just saying I think on Very Fine Condition in the comments, it's wild to me that The Woods just got a deluxe slipcover by Tynion, and the artist is Michael Dialinus, who's also the artist of Wind, because I swear you couldn't even give that book away when it was first coming out. There was like a tiny cadre of people who really liked it, and if you would mention it, people would be like, I don't know, what's that? And it was so cheap to pick up, and there were like lots of secondhand copies, and now it's got a deluxe oversized edition because James Tynion. So
I feel like I collected
life
it in
finds a way.
No,
What
it wasn't deluxes before. It wasn't those thick paperbacks.
What? I feel like I have deluxes in the other room. I don't.
I think there were deluxes along the way, but I'm saying like when it first was coming out, there was no buzz for it whatsoever. Like it was just radio silence, what I recall anyway.
Yeah, I like that book. Telling JP the nice things you just said about him. Please, Jake, do so. He Jake works for OPB. Jess's last OPB order was so fat. How fat was it? Well, I can show it to you. It's all strewn on my floor. It was huge. So I'm happy to show it. Can I just compliment Freddie's brilliant t-shirt? Yes. Something is killing the children. Oh, that is cool. Wait, let me highlight you.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
And Matt.
And there's Matt. Yeah. Chaos Matt and Wicked Freddie. I just picked up on that. Here's Batmanda's book cave. Hey, Batmanda. It's only 12:30 in the UK. Well, it was 12:30, half an hour ago.
That was
Yeah, when you wrote that comment, you're not adjusting for comment adjusted time by the time it gets read on air.
No, this is funny. When Jake texted me this earlier, over under on the odds just picks a book that's not even an absolute edition Thursday. He texted me and said, "You botched the past 3 evergreens so badly. I'm trying to figure out how you're going to do it this time."
One of Jess was the last to submit his picks of everyone. And when
Sorry.
Jess sent me his picks, there was one that I did not know was an absolute. And I questioned Jess, like, what is this bullshit? This isn't real.
Do you know the book? Well, since I sent you the writer,
I mean, you gave me enough information to put it in the presentation now.
It's one of my all-time favorite books.
Yeah,
oh my
God.
God.
Sell me on it, because right now my vote is no.
Oh,
I knew. I told you guys it was going to be hard. In the green room beforehand, I said he hadn't even heard of Justice, and they're like, "Oh, that's not a good sign." Whoops. Okay, sorry. It was. It was a book.
The very fine condition lawyers are going to show up.
Let him use his money. How high are we on his salary now?
Yeah, I think he's getting $250 a year.
$250 a year. Okay, you let him use his $250 a year.
Halo Tangle,
I don't even
welcome.
get free hair products. I'm expected to just show up looking like this every time.
Junior management just got back to me. It is Liverpool. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think I can show this on the air, Jake, because now Peter has admonished me. Jake just texted me a picture of said possible book that may or may not exist.
But Justice does exist. I saw it at the comic shop today. Like the absolute.
It just got a reprint.
Yeah.
How much do I have to super chat to get Krisis to bust out the guitar? He can play his own stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I could play one of my songs.
Yeah. I have an awesome contemporary chronological reading order for Batman. I sent Jess a copy a while back. That's know what's on top of that? All of Freddie's watching orders for Star Wars cartoons and Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I do remember that now. Super Laugh Hard. It was remarkable.
Yeah, he sent me that too. I could probably send that to Peter.
More spreadsheet love. Speaking of junior management, she could compete in those spreadsheet Olympics or whatever those things are. She is so fast at creating amazing spreadsheets. And I know that's an e-sport or something.
Oh my gosh. I could be an international champion. But also I'm very detail oriented in spreadsheets. It's not just about speed. Maybe if there was a judge of speed and quality.
I do remember Poker Face. I do remember that song too. Yeah. Maybe too early to say this, but DC Finest looks and feels so much nicer than Epic's. Epic's look uber generic to me now.
Whoa. All this generic crap.
Look at that generic stuff back there.
Like paper quality, and sometimes the color quality is like a little bit lower than when it started.
Okay, this was half an hour ago. What can you help me out on? What were we talking about half an hour ago?
You got it.
I'm so excited for the Evergreens show. Good stream. Yeah.
Good, but forget about this one. We're in it now.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the Evergreen stream, this one was requested by and is officially the stream of Jake from The Brave and the Boys. He was the one to propose it last month, and I was like, oh, we've got to do an absolute edition one. I don't know how we have it. And then he was like, I own every one. And then we got to nerding. And so I said to Omar, it's got to be the Jake Strange stream. Jake's got to be on it. So Jake is on the panel tomorrow.
Okay, I was talking about Tim Sale previously.
Okay.
Jess's hate is making me change my. No, I don't hate it. I just said I am coming to love it because I loved it in For All Seasons, and it was just funny that I didn't like it. I ended up buying it because I was high on life.
Yeah, Jake, don't play just for Jess. You have other people that are gonna like it.
Yeah, when you start playing against one person, you lose the battle. It's like when I try to take out Lars. But I don't even care about winning anymore because I've learned from James Abel that Dom of X has had every one of his picks picked every time. So there's no catching up with that. I might as well just be a loser now.
And he gets so excited.
Go for the one that everyone goes like, really?
I always do that. They always are like, how could you pick that? I'm like, this in my little corner of the world, this book is great. So I've stopped apologizing. I just bring them. I brought Spawn to the indie stream, sure that they'd be like, well, Spawn, if we're talking about indie superheroes, Spawn. And not one person voted for Spawn. Not one.
That was about as good as my irredeemable pick.
Well, I cannot believe you got rules lawyered out of Irredeemable. Like, I just am not a big fan of it, but I think the whole, it might be too mean for it to be a hero book. I'm like, it's a hero book. It's just a hero book from the perspective of a villain.
I got trashed on that one. Batman by Loeb Sale was my first DC omnibus. Superman for All Seasons made me cry. Welcome, Black Belt Collector. Jess, at first I didn't like Tim Sale, but it's grown on me big time. It looks so good in oversized format. I agree. Peace and love. Oh my gosh, the chat has turned against me, but fortunately it was half an hour ago. Hopefully they've moved on.
And
apparently not.
They ignored that I said I didn't like it too.
Hi, Halo Tango. Read 10 comics issues last night, slowly making my way through the backlog. Nice. Peter M. DC Finest Mapping. Nice.
I think that's what he meant. That he sent you something.
I think he was sending me Lady Gaga to listen to or something, and I was, I barely can do this. Don't make me look in Discord too. What up, Harvey? Good to see you. Hey, y'all. Happy New Comic Book Day. I picked up 4 issues today. This is big news because Javier just recently moved into physical media. He was digital before that. So good for you.
I can't say that it was a wise move, but it's nice to have you here.
I appreciate it, and I hope you blame it all on me.
Yeah, Matt's husband opened up a pull list today.
Yeah.
What's that now?
What is the first book on his pull list?
Scarlet Witch.
Well, Scarlet Witch, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, like the new absolutes that are coming out for those. Scarlet Witch, Dazzler. I feel like there was a 6th one, and Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
the other one.
Gail Simone.
Oh, okay, nice.
The new run.
I was gonna say the picks are a little basic, but then you threw Dazzler in there, so he can be part. He's part of the club.
This is
all Dazzler's fans are welcome and valid.
Is this his first pull list?
Yeah. I mean, normally we just kind of pick them up as we find them, but he's like, I really want to follow these ones, and especially with the DC picks, they are sold out every time we get to the store.
Oh yeah.
He was able to get that set up, so that was awesome.
Hayden. Also, Krisis, if we get him into Joanne's, that's the pipeline to make him listen to Trixie Mattel.
Joanne's and Trixie Mattel, very short pipeline. Yellow Cloud is really probably one of my favorite songs of the past 10 years. I've even got my whole family hooked on it at this point. I love it so much. Trixie Mattel is a fantastic songwriter, and I think really she's in interviews talked about that there's this perceived glass ceiling for people who are drag queens making music because people are like, well, it's drag music. We're not gonna play that on regular stations or put those videos in rotation or have you in for an unplugged or a tiny desk or whatever. But Trixie Mattel's not just making kind of vapid club music, although there's a time and a place for that. Trixie Mattel's a fantastic acoustic songwriter, and not that acoustic gives anybody more or less validity, but it's not what most people think of as drag music. And when you have somebody like Chapel Roan on Tiny Desk in drag and Chapel Roan very much is frank about thinking of her stage persona as a drag queen. She's now been adopted by Sasha Colby, your favorite drag queen, which Chapel Roan is your favorite artist. Drag queens make great music. And so I think Trixie Mattel, I would love more people to be into her. She's fantastic. She's kind of got an indie folk thing, but then also kind of is a big fan of Fountains of Wayne and 2000s power pop, and that kind of mushes together. So it's folk with a little bit of a power pop sheen in production, and I'm a massive fan of her music.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in a chatty mood today, man. When I go swimming in the morning and I have no brain, I thought I was going to be quiet, but I actually
I don't
can't
want you
stop
on here
talking.
quiet. I want you full of opinions, man, and thoughts.
Well, I've got him today.
Good. Big Stu says Krisis with a K is so cool.
Ooh. We love
Elvis-
deliberate misspellings here.
Elvis is trying to ramp it up to the topic. Krisis, do you buy X-Men no matter what? Oh, it's okay.
We're into hour 2 now.
We are
Maybe
into
we
hour
can
2. That's when
gently steer the book inspired by Matt's husband's pull list. Maybe you can gently steer the boat towards the topic of the show.
That's right. We've had an hour of tangents, so the field is open. Do you want to? Freddie is abstaining, I think, because he says that he doesn't do that.
I said I would tell you why I stopped, but if you want me to be disappointing at the end or now, it's your pick.
Well, maybe Matt has something interesting to say.
Yes.
Oh, is that why you brought a friend to avoid disappointing the audience? You're like, Matt's gonna take a pinch hitter.
The whole reason I booked the flight was to not disappoint you.
Good timing.
I feel like you built it up now, and
yeah.
Well, Matt, there is a topic for the show, and although it seems like there's not, it's what character or series do we buy no matter what? Whether it's great, whether it's sucky, whether everybody else hates it, whether we're sure we're gonna hate it, whatever. We buy it no matter what.
So I've got 2 that I'm going to bring up here. The first one, a couple of my favorites here, Wicked and Hulkling. There we go. This wasn't actually my favorite issue that had them in it. I'm just like, let my boys be happy. And this one kind of tried to pull them apart a little bit. But anything that has them in, I'm on board, here for it. I wish there was more media with them, honestly. So love them. And then probably a slightly more basic pick. We've got Iceman here, Astonishing X-Men is this one. And then I've also got a cool cover that Freddie sent me. All new X-Men, got it framed.
Ooh.
A little bit of a glare on it, but Iceman is certainly before these 2 and probably even since my favorite comic character. So anything with Iceman, I am here for. And
Nice.
So did you watch Agatha as a major?
Yes,
What?
Honestly,
what the hell?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers, but Catherine Hahn, obviously huge draw. But the potential of who Joe Locke's character was, no spoilers for anything, but was for me, I'm like, yes, I was already on board. Now I'm fully locked in. So yeah.
Okay.
Bless him and his American accent, but I just need to trim his eyebrows one time.
just
right. I just want to take a razor and go right down the middle. Actually, that's all I want to do. But no, all eyebrows are valid. Joe Locke is valid.
All eyebrows are valid. Yeah. Peace and love to all eyebrows out there. We're not saying anything bad about you. Even unibrow. I think everybody pretty much already knows what my first one's going to be. That's obviously Harley Quinn. I buy any and all Harley Quinn. I bought the sucky Rebirth Suicide Squad because Harley Quinn was in it. I bought the sucky New 52 Suicide Squad because Harley was in it. That was less sucky than the Rebirth Suicide Squad, but it's still a bit sucktastic. Barr seems to be really picky with her Harley Quinn, so I question if she's really a Harley Quinn fan. She's also asleep right now, so she can't fight back, so I won't take her to task too much, but I just want to read any and all Harley Quinn. I want Harley Quinn in every single DC book and all Marvel books, so I want Harley Quinn. More of Harley Quinn is always a good thing.
And more in the movie. They just announced on Tuesday's going to be Clayface in Gunn's DC universe. So he's in the Harley Quinn show as Clayface, and now he's going to do it in the live action movies.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I think
Which means we're getting Clayface in live action. Let's not bury the lead here, because I love Clayface.
No, my thing is that it's connected to the Harley Quinn show. He's making the Harley Quinn show canon. That's what he's doing.
Oh, maybe.
I feel like I saw something. I'm not good on picking up on the Hollywood stuff, but I thought that I saw he was looking to cast Harley Quinn too, and not Margot Robbie because I think but James Gunn, he's done really good with her. I don't know if she's just exhausted because she does her own stunts, but am I misremembering about Harley Quinn? Looking for a Harley Quinn that's not Margot Robbie?
I don't know. I think he basically didn't confirm or deny it last time I saw something about it.
Okay. So Elvis is asking, do you buy X-Men no matter what, Krisis?
Well, I mean, that's what got me back into comics, right? And then I was like, well, I want every X-Men comic ever. And then for a while, I was buying all of Marvel. I mean, during Marvel Now, if it was a trade during Marvel Now and it was in continuity, I bought it. And the thing I came to finally realize is like, there's only so much room in a house. And as you get older and you move around, you've got to move all those books. And
that is a loser's mentality.
I mean, did you want to take every single Marvel book to New Zealand? Come on.
No, that was not in the plan. Had I known that was going to be happening, I would have just stuck with digital.
Yeah.
If he could,
but then I really think for me, I had a cutoff. I mean, I'll still read every X-Men comic, no matter how terrible every single one of them is. But I stopped buying new physical Marvel after Secret Wars. I read all that digitally. I'll only get something physical if it's for the kid. But X-Men to me is like an always follow, always read, at least until the end of Krakoa. It's a whole different show. I don't know if we need any more X-Men comics after Krakoa, but to me, X-Men is that. For me, it's really Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is like my ride and die. I will buy anything Wonder Woman. I'll even read like alternate Earth Wonder Womans to check them out, even though I hate alternate continuity. I own every Wonder Woman comic, I think, ever up until like 2017, and many of them in floppy. Yeah, Wonder Woman is like a never miss, never skip, always, always, always for me.
Let me introduce you then to Silver Age Wonder Woman.
Baby, I got that right here, baby.
Oh,
I
okay.
With Silver Age Wonder Woman major.
I believe the youth say he played the reverse Uno card on me. Did I use that right? Nicely done. Nicely done. So Wonder Woman.
So the thing that got me addicted to the DC Finest and like into it is the second Wonder Woman book they announced is that immediately pre-Krisis run of Wonder Woman from 306 to 329. It's never been reprinted, not even in black and white, let alone in color. And I think the art on those books are so beautiful for like early mid 80s Wonder Woman. I mean, I love all Wonder. I love Golden Age Wonder Woman. I love Silver, Bronze. I love Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's my number one fave.
Okay, you have Diana Prince Spy?
Right here, yes.
Oh wow,
that's how you know I love Wonder Woman. She's in my primary office. She's not relegated down to the X-Men room downstairs.
Well, I'm not challenging you anymore. You got that. You are the real deal, dude.
And it's unsealed, so you know he's read it.
Oh yeah, multiple.
I don't have the Perez books in omnibus because I have them all in floppy, and I had a. Speaking of my maps, I had a binding map to bind all of Wonder Woman from 205, which is the beginning of the Bronze Age for her, all the way to Flashpoint because I have everything. But now, like, is DC Finest going to do it for me? I don't know. So when's that DC Finest book Wonder Woman coming out? That one. Well, if you go in that sheet that was linked earlier by James Abel, there's a tab for only announced books that has all of the information for all the books. And that is called The Legend of Wonder Woman. It covers from 1983 to 1986 and is out July 1st.
Nice. Okay. Howard Stern always gives deference to an artist who can play with an acoustic guitar live. Is that? Oh, okay. No, I was saying Peter and Samantha, they could use Discord voice chat to listen and watch you listen to Lady Gaga without any copyright strikes.
We could do the audio on Discord. We could be like, we're live listening to Lady Gaga now and getting Jess's live reaction. And to hear everything, go to Discord.
Okay. Great idea, James. That is true. Yeah. And you could watch me listen to it if that's something somebody wants to do. I don't know.
And
I'd watch that, but it's me. Thank you. Oh, is that the one I need to kill? I think the first one is Omnidog's Vault.
Yeah. No, one of them is just Omnidog, and then one of them is Omnidog's Vault.
Yeah, Omnidog was the one I created like a year and a half ago because I wanted to get my name in there. I need to kill that one because I haven't loaded anything. I haven't posted anything.
Oh.
Here's Peter. Yeah, Crazy
Yeah.
Crisis, Blue Sky. I don't know that I have heard Tony Bennett and Amy Winehouse together.
I
Gosh,
have everything by Amy Winehouse, so I must have that. I do not recall it.
Jesse, say what?
Body and
Welcome.
Soul featuring Tony Bennett.
I'm
I'll
now
just play that in the
Jaggernaut
background.
95. There's another Jaggernaut? What the heck? Hondo from the Bay Area. What up, my bruv? Okay. Yes, it is the HeroClix figure of Statesman, and I'm playing City of Heroes right now. What is he saying to us?
Oh my. Okay, so
Something
City of
exciting.
Heroes is a massive online RPG that came out before World of Warcraft. It came out, I want to say, in 2004 because it was just graduating university. And it's you make a hero, and it has all the different kind of powers that heroes can have. And it's not a very technical game. It's not, you don't have to like aim a lot. It's very like point and click. Like you have all these powers, you choose your target or you get within range of them and you do it. And it's like being in a real superhero world. And so it was around for almost a little over 10 years. And they made a City of Villains side of it too. So you could have villains. Super fun, totally addictive. I used to get home from work when I had my first job out of school. I would make myself a martini and I would sit down and I would just play City of Heroes until the wind powers would get me. I was drunk enough that I would just fall out of the chair when I would use the wind powers because I thought I was being blown back. So that was
this high school? You'd pour yourself?
No, not high school. When I had my first job, my first real job.
First real job.
So then it went away and I would like grieved it because even though I hadn't played it for years, it was like I just fell into the universe. It was like the costume creator is so cool and you can like give your hero whatever origin you want. And then somebody leaked the code to the game and people started making private servers running the game. And then one of the private servers, Homecoming, struck a deal with the original publisher to make the bootleg server valid and non-pirate. So now you can legally for free go to Homecoming. If you Google Homecoming City of Heroes, it's kind of like a little bit of a pain to install because it's not like an official game on Steam or something. And you can play City of Heroes. And Axel, you have to send me a message somewhere about what server you're on because I would totally get on. I think I have like 10 or 15 level 50 characters. I'm a total addict.
Wow.
Jess, there are 4 Jaggernauts on Blue Sky. There's Jaggernaut 1, and Jaggernaut with an E at the end.
Those guys.
But are they Jaggernauts or are they Jaegernauts?
Oh.
Are they all drinking Jaeger? Is that why they're Jaggernauts?
Well,
have I been mispronouncing it?
No, not our Jaggernaut. I'm just saying maybe that's why people get that name.
Okay. Okay. Was this about House? What was House?
Yes, House is also a TV show with a doctor who is Sherlock Holmes. Yes, there's a lot of different houses. That's why nobody remembers it because there's like 100 things called House. There's even like another horror movie called House.
Okay, now we're talking about Legend. Okay, here's AS, who's awesome. William Catt and George Wendt starred in House. Okay,
I think that's the second. There's 4. I might get it for Christmas. I don't know. We'll see.
Batnessa is here. Welcome. Half an hour ago.
Yeah.
House is great. The greatest American hero moves into his late aunt's house and is trying to kill him. It has Bull from Night Court and Norm from Cheers, and the sequel has Cliff Clavin.
So it does have George Wendt in the first one. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody was right.
Everybody calling us out. Thank you. Good to have a fellow nerd aboard. Random movie I like, but is terrible is Girlfriend from Hell.
I don't know that one.
I never turned that into a screenplay. Let's see. Only full series I ever read from Williamson was Flash. Just didn't dig it. Okay.
Speaking of getting high on your own supply, I do feel like that Williamson Flash series, it had like 12 issues of ideas. And then it just, I swear I would read an issue like 50 issues in and be like, hasn't this issue happened? I know this issue happened already. I just feel like he didn't have 100 issues of Flash ideas, and yet he wrote 100 issues of Flash. I still like him, nothing against Josh Williams, but I do not think he had the juice for that long of a run on Flash. So I agree with you there.
I mean, I can't blame anyone for that. I love Ultimate Spider-Man, and Bendis wrote 200 issues, and he probably wrote 20 being the exact same issue.
Yeah, Bendis sometimes gets a little bit on the hamster wheel when it comes to plotting. That's why I like when he writes short stuff and he like gets in and gets out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's and Night of the Comet. I loved Night of the Comet. I thought it was hilarious and great. And I told at the time in the 80s, I told my best man and his then wife, you should watch this. It's great. They hated it. And I was like, what? I'm not ever recommending a movie to you again. Night of the Comet was legit really funny and good, I thought. I need to see it again. Blue Sky is such a best. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really got that old Twitter feeling. I remember first getting on Twitter in like 2009, 9, and if you would see somebody who just mentioned one thing that you liked one time, you would follow them and be like, "Hey, you like this thing?" And I don't feel like people really do that on Twitter anymore because it's just so huge and there's so much cruelty on Twitter, and that even predates the musky smell. But Blue Sky, I just feel like it's like people are like, oh hey, you like this random artist and you mentioned them once. I posted about that too. Let's be friends. And especially New Zealand, I could go off, but there's a ton of New Zealand people on Blue Sky. For all my Kiwis that are watching, the whole of New Zealand Twitter during the invite phase of Blue Sky pretty much like invited each other so that the whole network moved over. So there's tons of Kiwis on Blue Sky. It's one of the most highest populations per capita of a country on Blue Sky.
Wow. Yeah, but there's two things like that make it really different. It's like Twitter, once they started doing the whole verified thing, like only the absolute worst people were paying for it, and those are all of the top replies. And then they got rid of moderation entirely. And if you see somebody being transphobic on Blue Sky, that person will not be allowed back in, which is nice to have something like that again.
Yeah.
Omnidog Evergreen, out of 23 books, 10 have made the final cut. So I'm almost
under 500.
Sorry?
Oh, that was like a glass half full, glass half empty moment. You're like, I'm almost at 50%.
I'm almost
like
at 50%.
Under 500.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm surprised they made 10. I didn't even know I made one.
Hey.
Vanessa, this is a good question. What are we discussing today?
So I want to go back to our actual topic. Matt,
Okay.
You have many action figures in the background there.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not that many Wiccan and
You wanna give it more,
Hulkling action figures, although I do have Wiccan. So
So-
are there people that you always buy as action figures?
Oh, good question.
I am terrible with action figures. 100% of what you see behind me are my husband's.
Oh,
He
Nerds
has-
United
so we've got this
in
shelf
holy
back here.
matrimony. We love to see it.
He's got Teen Titans, Young Justice.
You want to take this on the road?
Yeah,
like,
we can wander real quick. Hold on.
Hold
let
on.
me-
Good,
Oh.
good. Okay.
the camera. Like,
Is the husband not on the stream? Is he more attractive than all of us and he's going to ruin the curve? Why can't he come on the stream?
Putting us all to shame, like for
Okay.
absolutely for serious. Sorry. Yeah. So we'll start at the top here. So we've got your classic big three Justice League.
Love that
Then
Wonder Woman.
Here we've got some of our DC Pride, but then also a bunch of our Teen Titans mixed in with some of the Young Justice characters stuff. Down here, even more Titans. That's his favorite.
He's got people climbing on the wall. Look at the dedication to
Yeah.
have Wally West running across
Run
the
across
wall.
Yep.
yeah, and he just brought
Um,
that Blackfire.
And then Blackfire here. This the McFarlane.
This is making me want to have action figures again.
Yeah.
Down here we've got some more Bat Family shenanigans happening here. Some of the classic Batman animated series guys down here. Then we've got another Wonder Woman shelf down here, with Injustice Wonder Woman here kicking the crap out of Batman. So we love that. And then down here is just some comics here, and then all of his leftover bits, but we don't talk about that.
Okay.
And then actually, like over there, like
Like Wonder all the way over there?
yeah, like
For a
sure,
whole
why
Wonder,
not?
okay.
Like I'll show you like the this is the Freddie shelf. This is basically everything that I've given him
Yeah,
ever.
this
Like
is
all of this.
90%.
Nice.
And it's not over. And then it's down here. Yeah. How much have you read of this, Matt?
An amount.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So definitely
Yeah.
all the all new X-Men's.
Okay.
X-Men Blue, Young Avengers.
Yeah, I didn't give you.
Definitely read all
X-Men
those.
You didn't give him those.
I gave one all new X-Men and the Guardians crossover.
Yeah.
And Battle of the Atom. Yeah.
Well, and you also, speaking of reading orders before, you like this is set based off of like the order you provided me. So
Yeah.
like that's why we've got Battle of the Atom kind of in the middle of everything else here. But yeah, I'm bad about reading in general, but I love my collection. So
Yes, it's nice.
I can relate.
Okay. Did that answer your question, Peter?
Yeah, well, it's clearly a heavy dedication to Teen Titans on the shelf
Yeah.
there,
Yes.
since there are multiple eras.
it is a yeah, it's something that I can't compete with. So
Yeah, I think the problem for me is, hold on. Okay.
bless you.
What
I think the problem for me
is that
is
your
once
sneeze?
they all sound like cartoon sneezes. I don't have any normal person sounding sneezes.
Man, my rattle the house. That was very low key.
Oh yeah, but mine are like choo! Like I sound like a little cartoon mouse or something.
That was great.
Um,
I didn't even know if it was real.
But Matt, my problem is that like I'll be like, I'm only getting X-Men Marvel Legends. And then I'm like, oh, but there's like a Wiccan. I mean, that's like Scarlet Witch, X-Men adjacent. And then I'm like, well, I might as well just buy every wave. And then I'm gonna get the Build-A-Figures.
This
It's
is
gonna be
exactly
fun.
my problem.
But that's how I am about everything in life. Every single thing in life.
As
I'm
I
like
fall
that.
into it, I will have a shelf twice as full as that. So I'm just like, no, I cannot. Like my D&D addiction is bad enough. I have so much dice. Like
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, Freddie. You brought my
I'll
new
sign
best
off
friend.
now.
Because hopefully I don't, it's obscured right now, but on the top shelf, I have all of my third party D&D
Oh my gosh.
that goes on. And then my main D&D shelf with all of my first party D&D is in another room. But yeah, I have a lot of I had to stop. I actually was like, this is getting crazy. Because 2 years ago, there was not this much of a shelf of D&D, and now there is. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel
But
like
see, that's what I mean. It started out with, I'm just going to get source books and like worlds. Like I'm going to get like the Eberron book. I'm going to get the, what is the one that's the Magic the Gathering world that has like all the cool
Ravnica.
Olympian. Yes, Ravnica. I'm just going to get those kind of books.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, but I kind of think Storm King's Thunder sounds cool. I could have some adventures. Then it's like, well, I'm just going to get all the ones that are out now. And then I was like, oh, but I can get like Candlelight and the ones that are like single event. And then I've literally every 5e book. Thank goodness they screwed us all and started this one D&D nonsense, so I could just cut it off.
I broke down over the weekend and bought the new Dungeon Master's guide.
No, Matt!
Only because I was holding out. Okay, I was holding out. I was like, I can't do it. They had the limited edition cover that was damaged for half off. And it has like the smallest like imperfection in the foiling. Like that's it. And just like in the corner. So I was like,
oh, I love the foil ones. I have the foil ones of the 5e.
Because it's $25 for this book and like I'm here. All right. You got me.
Well, so Jess, this may be serendipitous. Matt, I've been trying to get Jess to commit to play a one-off D&D stream at some point. I think Jess would be so hilarious as a D&D character. And I think it would be genuinely fun. I'm super nervous about DMing in front of people because once you start watching Brennan Lee Mulligan, it's like you're never going to feel like you're worthy. But I do D&D. I do DM my D&D campaign. So I'm kind of tempted. So now Matt can be part of that.
Yeah. If you can't convince him to do D&D, I also have the Marvel Multiverse.
I have that.
Yeah,
that looks good.
It's super cool. They actually just came out the X-Men expansion. Yes, I have it digitally, but
would I enjoy that more than D&D? What am I getting myself into?
I feel like D&D's maybe, at least to me, but that's just because I've been playing it a lot more. It feels a lot more user friendly than the Marvel Multiverse.
I agree. The Marvel multiverse thing, I'm like, it just is a lot. D&D. Somebody was trying to tell me D&D is complicated. I'm like, yeah, but I'm from the age of THAC0. To me,
Right.
5e is easy.
Yeah, 5e is pretty basic as far as some of that stuff goes. I love that Multiverse has a lot of the for a lot of your most popular characters, but yeah, the rules for just like
Is he breaking up?
Yeah,
You're just starting to sound like
a
Brad.
lot, Matt. You broke up a lot
Sorry.
there.
You're
No,
bumping that.
that's
It's
fine.
starting to sound like 360.
Just start from the beginning an hour ago, and then we'll catch up.
Right, yeah. So first question was what I was saying, I'm not sure where I started breaking off. Sorry. Was with the Marvel Multiverse roleplay. Like, I love that they have the profiles for the characters, and you can, if you want to play Iceman, you can just open the book. He's right there. You've got your stuff. Their rules for character creation feels needlessly complicated. Like, if you want to make your own original character, when they start getting into like power sets, it's like, oh, if you only choose from certain numbers, then you get more powers because you're in like a thematic bonus or whatever, but you can do whatever with more. Like, you could have someone who has magic and is also a spirit of vengeance and also has a symbiote, and like you can do all of these things in one character, but it just then becomes a really muddled thing. So it's cool. It's very nice. I've never actually played it. I've read through the books and everything, but
yeah, I haven't played it.
It feels like it'd be very fun.
But then I'm like, I could just go play City of Heroes. This is a lot of math, and I could just log on to City of Heroes. But I think Jess would like a system like Die. Have you read Die, Jess?
I have, and I read the first book, and I since I wasn't a tabletop gamer,
right,
or
it didn't like ring gamer, for you.
Yeah, I think I actually sent it to Maddie whenever that was like 3 years ago, because I said, this sounds like a book you might like.
Now, Matt, have you read Die?
Yes, Freddie.
Love it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have a problem. I mean, I'm fine to try Dungeons and Dragons with you if you think it'd be good, but I know nothing about it, so I'm not sure how it would be interesting to. I mean, would it just be us playing? Are we gonna make a video of it, or what are your thoughts on this? Now that I'm actually calling your bluff.
But I'm saying maybe Dungeons and Dragons isn't the right system. Like, Die is really a fun system because you get one dice basically. That you only have to ever worry about one dice. So it's not super technical. You just worry about being whoever the person is that you're being. And then recently, there's a system called Kids on Bikes that the Dimension 20 live stream modified a little bit to call it Never Stop Blowing Up, which basically it's almost like a dice gambling game as a role-playing game. It's like you're always rolling to try to get the top score on the dice. So it kind of gamifies the dice rolling in its own way, where you don't have to be really technical and you just know you're trying to roll high to roll high. So I don't know if D&D, I think we're at a point now in the world of RPGs, and Matt, I'm so curious to hear your opinion. We're like, I don't think you have to start people on D&D anymore. I think D&D could be the third or the fourth system that they play now.
Yeah, there definitely are a lot of, especially some of those like smaller ones. You're talking Kids on Bikes. There was one that my D&D group tried out a couple summers ago that was, oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking on what it was called. But it was basically like you are clones in like this sort of like facility that like the machine overlords are like controlling, and basically you have to follow what the computer tells you, like the computer, which is like the DM tells you, and like, you're supposed to be like, oh, there's a blockage in the sewer system, whatever, and you go down there through like 100 ghouls or something like that. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called, but like basically you all at character creation like take turns and sort of like make stuff up and say like, oh, I'm good at I think one of the things that one of the characters said was like puckish charm or something like that. Like that was like their stat. That
I love it.
You're like a +4 in, and then like whoever the next person is, that's automatically their worst stat, and then they get to make up the next ability.
Oh, because you're all clones, so like it's
Right,
meant
so
to like kind of like join you a little bit.
So then like if I say I have chainsaw hand, the +4 chainsaw hands, and the next person like a -4 chainsaw hand, but then they can say, oh, but I have rocket boots, and then like whatever it is, and so like. It was very interesting in that way for the collaboration. Like literally the rules for it was a page and that was it, And so there is definitely a lot of nice, easy, gentle places to get on with these tabletop games. And then, you've got your D&Ds, which are a little bit more complicated. And, I looked into Pathfinder a bit last year and like,
Pathfinder's a little crunchier because it's based on D20.
but it's still like the same, D20 roll high. Like a lot of the mechanics and like the ideas from D&D carry, and then some of these other ones that are a lot more complicated. Like I had the old Mutants and Masterminds, like edition 2 book, and like going through that makes Marvel Multiverse look like a piece of cake. So I was just like,
this comment was from half an hour ago, yet it's still true.
When Matt started to talk, right?
Jess looks so lost. That was from
So
half
just
an hour ago.
to answer your question.
Chaperone.
Also, I want to try Monster of the Week. I have that. I really want to try it. And also, we could always play Vampire Masquerade, and then it's not even about the roles at all. But just, I think my idea is that we do like a one shot that's got a specific theme. Like the party is trying to get a valuable gem. It's like a Jed McKay Black Cat issue. The team is trying to get a valuable gem, and everybody's got to do something. And maybe you're the locks guy, right? You're the guy who can like disarm locks and traps and things. And so it's like it's Matt, it's Freddie, and it's like Odefell. And you're trying to steal this gem, and I'm just like putting obstacles in your way, and we just do like a one shot that's like 3 hours, and just to see like what you think. And you're not Jess, you're like the guy from Black Cat. You make up a version of a character that you think would be amusing to play. Is he slick and cool and James Bondy? Is he like totally befuddled and clumsy, but it makes it funny because he can open locks even though he's a total
that sounds like me now. Yeah.
So I just think he
Odell
would be so funny and charming, and I think it would help people understand what playing RPGs are to see you do it. And I think it would be legitimately fun.
Oh, could we get Odell to cosplay?
I only want to do it if Odell will do, because if you've never seen the clips of her playing, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've been trying to get her on one of my shows eventually, but she's super busy.
She's so busy. She's booked and blessed.
Yeah. I never try to pressure her or anything. I just say, whenever you can come on. But I know she's way busy. So this was from, and now we're back on the tangents, Vanessa, so you're okay.
But it was kind of on topic, because Matt and I were talking about how we like buy every D&D thing.
Chris likes Laura Kinney and Jessica Jones. They're must buy for me.
Nice.
Apparently there are thunderstorms going on outside. I wondered what that noise was. Okay, good. I don't have to worry about the rain. Yes, like I did in the old house. Yay.
I'm going to Matt's husband right now and say Starfire's one of them.
Ooh,
clearly from the shelf of figures. That cover is.
Yeah, wait. Is there a way we can see that without? Is that Art Germ?
Is this Art Germ? I think so.
It might be, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like his.
Which one is that? That's a boss Starfire cover.
I have to open it up and look and see what issue it is. But
let's see. We were talking about this earlier, so I know. Dazzler's another one of them.
Oh, that is so good.
You said this
that's a really good one.
I think that's number 1, from the new wrap.
I might need that.
And obviously, Wonder Woman.
What? Wait. Jammin. Ooh, that's fierce.
I love when Wonder Woman just looks scary. Like she's if Wonder Woman walked up to you with a sword, like you would crap yourself. Like I don't like it when she's made too cute. Like I'm not saying she has to be She-Hulk, but she should be fearsome.
Well, she needs to be like 6'4" and ripped and have that sword and say, "I'm here to kick ass." Yeah, I agree.
That's partially why I really love Dead Earth. She's just like a barbarian in it.
What was that? A Starfire comic or what was it?
Well,
is she have a new series?
She has a series? I don't think I knew that.
Oh, don't open your cousin's book. We might get in trouble. I'm not trying to get you barred from coming back to the stream.
It's definitely been opened, so it's okay. This is
Starfire Alien Princess.
Yep.
Oh, Starfire Alien Princess.
Oh,
I'm so behind in DC.
This might be one of those Tales of the Titans books, actually.
It could be. I'm not 100%.
Oh, like a reprint of one of her old Tales of the Titans.
No. They did some.
Last year, right? As a prelude.
The Titans books. Titan characters. Let me look. There is really no information about
it. It does not give hardly any information about this book.
No, okay. Here it is.
That's the thing with some of those version variant covers. Like you truly have no way of knowing. Look in the indicia on the first page. Or on the credits page, usually the indicia will say.
Tales of the Titans 1.
It's also on the back.
Okay.
Oh. Look at that. It does say.
Oh, it's on the back.
It's on the back. Don't get your fingerprints on that top cover, Freddie. You're going to get in trouble.
Oh, no.
Yeah, wipe that clean since it's a foil.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Freddie, you have promised, you've teased us that
Yeah.
you used to be ride or die for a certain character or creator, and
Yeah.
then you got so burnt out that you never do it for anything anymore. And I would love to know what hurt you that bad.
It started happening with Miles Morales, because when the first Spider-Verse happened, Dan Slott, I was reading a lot of interviews back then, and Dan Slott did one, and it saying, yeah, Miles is going to be important to the story. And spoiler, he was not. Oh, he's only there in the first issue, like at his mother's grave, and then at the very end, like he appears with the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon version, the Drake Bell one, and that was it. And I'm like, I really bought 25 plus issues of the event, and then the first few issues of the Amazing Spider-Man, because it only started like at issue 5 of the run. So I was like, oh, I could get the other ones. So that's why I have the first appearance of Silk. So I'm not that mad because it's great, but I'm like, I got tricked into this. And then when Silent Ackman started writing the book, that it started off like, oh, it's very wholesome, and then you realize, oh, it's wholesome because it's going nowhere. This is a like nothing has happened, and then suddenly I'm reading this torture porn book about this teenager getting tortured the hell out of it. It's like it's like Jigsaw style, like they're torturing him for an entire issue, and you're like, this came out of nowhere. There's no like easing you into this. And then again, nothing happens. Oh, he has a clone. Nothing happens. Oh, the whole thing's ending in a multiverse thing. I was like,
and that run had such promise. There was such a cool story thread with like it's going to be about Ultimatum. It's going to connect back to why he's in our universe and the remainder of the Ultimate Universe. And then it kind of just fizzled. Yeah,
and it had the redemption of the Rhino in the beginning. You're like, oh, this is cool, and then nothing like that ever happens again. So if that had kept going, I probably would have stopped collecting the singles. Like the only reason I kept going was because I knew it was going to end very soon. Because his Miss Marvel, which was another one that I was buying everything of, I stopped during his run. I just couldn't. Nothing was happening. He reverted her back to like before the G. Wilson run, like with the parents not knowing who she was. It's like, why are we doing this?
Well, I mean, we all know that comics kind of rubber band back and forth in terms of plot, but I think it's a good point in that, like, when something kind of becomes a hot and heavy media property, which both of those characters were in that period or were anticipated to be, it's almost like it's hard to hang on as somebody who's been reading all this time, not because you were there before it's cool, but because the character tends to get reset or used in a way that only works in the movie, or like retread some other plot that they've had previously, because they're kind of playing the hits, and it's hard to stay excited, which is why I think it's amazing that Jess has stayed such a big fan of Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn has gone through so many rise and falls in terms of her popularity coming and going, and when her popularity gets thick, she's in everything, and they use her in 100 different ways, and sometimes it feels like 50 different characters, but like Jess's love is true. And mad. It's mad love. And so Jess just eats it all up. But it's hard to stay into a character when they get into that zone where they're in like the exposure zone.
He even has the really bad team with her. Like, I only have the good teams with Miles. Like, I don't think he's in a bad team now, but
Yeah, Suicide Squad. If I can read Suicide Squad, I think that wait, somebody was questioning me. Oh, here, Gary. Harley Quinn written by Teenie Howard. No way. I've read Suicide Squad, buddy.
It's something. And I like Teenie Howard. But yeah. Ooh.
I'm gonna read that and love it, and then watch Madam Web and love that too. That's
the spirit.
Nick buys anything Venom. Hayden.
Oh, Nick, they've been testing you this year because there was a lot of Venom.
There's so much Venom.
Yeah, there has been. Hayden, I know Hayden's my buddy on all bar. I just saw bar here. Yeah, Hayden is my buddy on Harley Quinn. Shut down those Harley rumors on Threads. Thank you.
Hayden also gets a lot of Doctor Who and a lot of Buffy stuff.
Hayden does.
Yeah,
I used to be a buy everything Buffy person, not even having to do with Whedon stuff. I just was finally like, oh my gosh, I've got enough. Like sometimes I feel like I get to a point, and this is where I am with X-Men, where my canon is kind of completed. Like I feel like I have enough story of this character where I'm like, I don't know that new stories of this are going to be appealing to me. Like I feel like I have what feels complete to me, and I think that's positive. I don't think that's a negative thing. I think everybody, sometimes it's fair to say like, you know what, I actually have all of the Wonder Woman I've ever wanted. I don't know if there's going to be a new Wonder Woman story that's going to excite me the way these old Wonder Woman stories have, and I feel like I got there with Buffy, where I'm like, I started reading the Buffy reboot by Jordie Bellaire, and I was like, honestly, this just doesn't spark any joy, not because it's bad, but because I just don't think I need any more Buffy. We're deep in the second hour. I can say this and I won't get canceled. Jordie Bellaire and Declan Shalvey need to stick to art.
And so does Joelle Jones.
Yeah. Joelle Jones, though, had Lady Killer.
I know, and that's what got her Catwoman. And that's what got her back on just doing cover art.
Yeah, some artists just
Lady Killer was awesome. I featured that on some video. Oh, my favorite crime books. That's one of them. Yeah, she killed
such an awesome aesthetic too. Just like really honed. Yeah. Declan Shalvey. I'm so happy for his success. I wish success for everyone in comics. It's a hard thing to be successful in. I read his Thundercats. I'm a huge Thundercats fan, and I was like, oh, okay.
Next Imaginaut, who's already left. It's all Fantastic Four. Wow, nice.
Oh, that would be cool. That's a lot of issues. I don't have those in singles. I have it in singles up to the end of Claremont in like 2000, 2001. Then I have it in trades.
AS, I buy all Ultimate Universe and all Ghost Machine in singles. And Halo Tango saying there's a lot of fandoms that I'm a total slut for. Scooby-Doo is one of them.
Oh my gosh, do you get all the DC Scooby-Doo comics? Because the Scooby-Doo and Batman comic is supposedly fantastic.
I do. I've gotten all Scooby-Doo Apocalypse and Scooby-Doo. I actually am with Halo Tangle on that. I love Scooby-Doo.
Well, Halo Tangle has also fantastic taste. So if Halo Tangle were to tell me to read Scooby-Doo and Batman, I would probably read Scooby-Doo and Batman.
I am pretty sure Halo Tangle is a woman.
Oh, cool. We respect identities and pronouns. It's just the Gambit. When you see a profile picture and it's Gambit, he, him.
Well, I think previously she said she'd also buy anything that's Gambit.
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. That's the secret. Yeah. I also have certain indie titles where I just get obsessed, and then it turns into a creator obsession because the title like ends or whatever. So like, I'm obsessed with Lazarus by Greg Rucka, but that metastasized into pretty much buying all of indie Greg Rucka because Lazarus comes out at such a glacial pace. Jess knows the past couple weeks, and this is Vanessa's fault. You already left, but I'm blaming you for when you watch the rest of it.
She already leave, damn it.
I'm renewed in my obsession for Vampirella. I thought it was enough to just have the archives. But then when Jess was like, oh, I like Vampirella too, I was like, oh, maybe I need more because you showed me that damn bookshelf with the damn omnibuses on it. So then I put them in my cart and ordered them. Now I'm on eBay looking for runs of Vengeance of Vampirella from the 90s because it's never been reprinted. We got to get Dynamite. Jess, you like enough Dynamite books that we need to we could get sponsored by Dynamite. I would read every Dynamite book if they would let us review Dynamite.
Same. I don't have a contact there, but I could write him and say
I used to. He lived in Philly. I don't know if he still works for Dynamite though. I'll look into that.
I am a total sucker for. I love the Dynamite books.
Yeah.
And they have so many cool properties, and now they're licensing Disney stuff. They did Gargoyles. They've got Thundercats. Now they're going to do Silverhawks. I F with Silverhawks big, so I'll be reading that.
Well, let me see if I'm... okay, wait. Peter, have you been reading Tom King's Wonder Woman? I love it so much. And Halo Tangle... Oh, no, I already know the answer to this. Never mind. That question did not get asked. Forget it. Let's move on to something positive. No. Don't yuck
it's beautiful. Daniel Sampere is one of the best Wonder Woman artists.
But if you want
to found a positive. Ting.
There you go. Okay, Beyond, I'm with you. I love it so much too. We're gonna move on.
I'm on Team Halo Tangle. We don't know what.
Well, I'll give you a positive book. Vampirella Red Sonja, surprisingly really good. And then there's
the ongoing or the initial verses. Because the ongoing is by Jordie Bellaire, so we know how I feel about that.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
No, but that was actually good. Actually, I'll give her credit for that one. That was good. I agree.
You know, here's the thing about some artists that are writers, some of them only have that one good story.
Yeah, or they have like one theme that they're like really, because I will say Declan Shalvey, I take it back. Still let me interview one day, because I like some of his indie stuff, like Time Before Time or Time After Time. His indie book for Image was like 20. That was great. It was awesome. Like, I think he actually writes really good kind of like sci-fi stuff. I think he was very influenced by doing art for Warren Ellis on Injection, one of my all-time favorites. But then when he writes other stuff, I'm like, no, get back in your sci-fi thriller box. Get in the box.
Yeah. but even better than that is Red Sonja Vampirella meets Betty and Veronica.
Oh, I have that.
I didn't read. I didn't. That was a bridge too far for me. But Jess would like it.
I liked it. I read it.
You read
it.
I also read Betty and Veronica meet Harley and Poison Ivy. That was awesome.
That was good too.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But if we're talking deep cuts and comics that I fully acknowledge are bad, that I will buy everything. For a while, I was backing every Kickstarter for Lady Death, because in the 90s, she was just so cool. She was just this white, witchy hell lady with the giant sword. Now we have magic, and she's in good comics, so we can enjoy that. But Lady Death there was no other character really like that. And I had all the initial, they were like perfect bound trade, like OGNs in the 90s. But then when I came back to cons, I'm like, oh, cool. Brian Pulido is still doing Lady Death. Awesome. So not only did I start catching up on the what is that company, starts with an A, that puts out a lot of trashy comics. But they were doing Avatar Press. We're doing Lady Death. So I started reading that. And then I started backing the Kickstarters to be like, oh, new Lady Death. It's not, I wouldn't call it high quality. But if you're looking for a busty babe with, you know, being busty and being in hell, then bless you, it is that kind of comic. It's kind of just gone totally to cheesecake. And maybe it was totally cheesecake all along, and in the 90s I didn't even fully appreciate that. But I still, if they were to put out a Lady Death collection of like 90s Lady Death tomorrow, I would be the first Kickstarter backer, and I would get the special signed deluxe bound in leather with blood ink version of it, because I'm a loser, and I would be there.
I'll buy anything Jonathan Hickman or Mike Mignola writes. I think I'm with you there. This is a good question. Maybe I'll answer that tomorrow night. All right, because I've been thinking about that, actually. Good question half an hour ago.
Wait, what was it? I totally missed it.
What Harley Quinn book would you choose as your first absolute? I think Harleen. Actually, the answer is Harleen, because that was in my video.
One of the best comics ever.
Yeah. So I already answered it. There it is,
right.
Harleen.
I would buy that absolute. 100.
Yeah.
Steven, how do you say his name? Steven Sejic?
He won't tell anybody how to properly pronounce it because he laughs at how we pronounce it.
His art.
Oh,
an absolute size.
His writing. He was going to do a Poison Ivy book, and
there's an artist who's allowed to write. You're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the question for you from half an hour ago, Sweet Mimosa. If you're still here,
I did promise I would answer it.
Oh, okay, good. I'm going to use your brain, Krisis. What's a good 80s or 90s 1D era to read? I have the first Perez omnibus, but haven't read past the first 12 issues.
So I love the Perez run. I think it's great all the way through. I think if you're at 12 and it's not clicking for you, I don't know if it's going to click. I think the first 16 or 20 issues are like perfection. You can kind of just pick up whatever you want from the high 300s, which is right before Krisis, because at that point, DC wasn't like super continuity based. So even though there is an ongoing story arc, you can really read any issues you want. And so the DC Finest that's coming out in July of 2025 will collect 306 to 329. You might take that. I am a huge fan of William Messner Loeb's writing Wonder Woman, which starts after Perez, I think with issue either 62 or 63. That has been collected in trade paperbacks. You don't have to have read all of Perez. He takes it in a new direction, has beautiful covers by Brian Boland. Not as big of a fan of the John Byrne run, which follows that. And now we're into the 90s. And then I think the next like significant run is probably like Jimenez, which is like almost 100 issues later. So I would say high 300s, give Perez another try, or maybe jump forward to William Messner Loeb's in terms of 80s and 90s Wonder Woman. There's also a miniseries, The Legend of Wonder Woman, which will also be in that DC Finest, that is kind of like, you know, Marvel does the saga of, and they kind of recap the whole history of a character. It's kind of that, but it's got really good art.
It really
I
does.
don't want to missay who does it, but it's somebody really wonderful and famous.
Stefan Shajic.
No.
I just wanted to try his name.
No,
again.
I was gonna say it was Trina Robbins, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh.
Let me look.
Wow.
Maybe.
Just want to acknowledge Derek's here after we lost Vanessa. So I'm going to do one more thing before I go to the very bottom because we don't have Krisis.
It is
for much
Trina Robbins.
longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Are you? I feel like you're in the Discord, but then you're not in the Discord. Are you currently in my Discord?
I pop in and out. Discords for me are much like Marvel Legends figures and D&D 5 ebooks. Like if I'm on it, I will stop reading comic books because I'll be like, ooh, the Discord. Ooh, who's on the Discord? Ooh, let's talk to people on the Discord. So I make my appearance and I do my thing and then I wander away. I could come back later. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's fair. Let me go to the very last comment. Okay. My Discord. Okay, good. Wait, did Halo Tangle ever oh, here's Kane. Hi, Kane. My comment was about Denny O'Neil's Wonder Woman. Okay. I'm just 2 hours fashionably late, agreeing with everything on every topic tonight. Good vibes. Nice.
That's what we like to hear.
Chokehold this Venom this year.
Yeah. Kid Venom, Carnage.
Coffee Comics has Lady Death IP now. Avatar Press had Lady Death. I don't think Avatar Press is in business anymore.
Yeah, I think they're just selling off their back issues at this point.
Yeah. I'm very gonna buying comics. I've been borrowing a bunch of comics from Hoopa and Libly. Oh, I gotta go renew my Hoopla subscriptions, including Scooby-Doo and Marvel Limited. Lots to read. Okay,
that's the way to do it, man. You do not need to buy all these comics ever. Like there are plenty of ways to legally read comics for free or low cost. Are the Scooby-Doo issues also on DC Unlimited? I would or whatever it's called, DC Universe. I'd have to check, but I have to change my VPN to do that. Can't happen now.
Infinite, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, are you still? No, that was still a half an hour ago. Damn it!
No,
I thought I was
gone.
caught
She went
up.
to sleep. She's not on anymore.
I thought I was caught up.
No, Kane said what they read, and I want to call some BS. Kane, you're saying you'll always buy $29.99. Does that include Steve Orlando? It can't include Steve Orlando. It can't, because Scarlet Witch. You guys say is amazing. That's fine. It's $29.99. It's not. It's
it's not the best.
Batman, Superman.
I do
World
love
Finest.
Top Cow. Big Top Cow fan. I have.
Yeah.
Cyberforce. Okay. That I thought I was getting caught up, but Batnessa said goodbye like 4 times. So
Is she?
Vanessa, good night. Okay, Batnessa, can you blasted nerd stop talking D&D to stick to comics? That was a while ago.
That's when everybody logged off.
Yeah, I think they had a fun night. I have to go because I'm watching her mom while she is sick. Good for you. Peace and love to all you guys. Have a good rest of your night. Side note, since Di was brought up, for anyone who hasn't already, definitely check out that duo's newest book. We called them Giants. A quick but very good read.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, Robert. Somebody in my Discord did not. So now we have 1 for and 1 against.
I'm for it. Also, I think you should go back to try Die. Just look at it kind of like from a different perspective. Like maybe like a more Jumanji angle where you don't need to know like what the game is. Just that, they've come out all tortured and they're going back in.
I never saw Jumanji.
Okay, well, don't.
Here's AS leaving. Okay, everybody's leaving. This is about Peter's sneeze. Put on a child's my first drum set where every
I'm telling
sound
you, every one of my sneezes are silly sounds. I sound like a little Casio keyboard that sneezes.
Oh, well, Samantha was up for an action figure stream. She does love action figures.
Yeah.
Good.
We gotta set one up with Max soon.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, but Batmantha and Max are on completely different times.
I meant me and Max, but we could do me and Sam. Forget Max.
Okay, just Batmantha. Sorry, Max, you're out.
Yeah.
Poor Max. He always gets the short end of the stick. He was ready to hang out with us last time, and we all were sick. And he was like, "But I was gonna come and hang out."
Return. Okay, now we're into bad 80s movies. Okay. I literally just bought one Godzilla figure 3 days ago, and now I've got the collection planned out in its entirety. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Nice.
to know I'm not the only one who does that. You get like the first thing, and then you have to then you have all the tabs open. Then you start a spreadsheet. Now you figured out like every Godzilla figure that's ever been released from 1990 to present. Like I go down that rabbit hole so hard.
Role playing is brilliant, Jess. Krisis would be a great DM. Is that Dungeon Master?
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds scary, but okay. So you would be
This
in
is
good
Games
hands.
Master.
My brothers and I have played a lot of Lord of the Rings D&D. Would love to play
One
Marvel,
Ring.
but can't find a DM. Okay. Yep. Everybody's leaving. Just yelling at me. Vanessa's leaving like 10 times. Something. The ultimatum tease in Ahmed's run gave me the same vibe as Wally West leading into Doomsday Clock. Good build, but nothing was done with him in that book.
Yeah.
By the way, Krisis, always a pleasure chatting with you on stream.
We've been having fun in the chat, Robert and I.
Good. Along the same lines of the stream's topic, does anyone have a certain idea or storyline they'd always pick up? For me, it's anything cryptid related. Cryptid. That's very specific. Yeah, anything with Harley in it. Anything that has an idea or a storyline with Harley in it. What's a topic? What's a storyline or certain idea? You know what story idea I'm kind of over is dystopian apocalyptic stories. I keep coming back to them, but I feel like there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm sure I'm going to go into my other room and pull out 12 new dystopian future books that I just bought, but feel like
like Once Upon a Time at the End of the Earth by Jason Aaron, which I told you to wait for the deluxe.
Yes. Is that dystopian? Yeah. Uh-oh.
I think for me it's like anything about the line between life and death, anything where like somebody's kind of like dies and comes back, or dies and then they're haunting somebody, but like I don't necessarily want scary stuff. I just like stuff that plays. So I love Euthanautes by Teenie Howard. I love Ghost Tree from IDW. Anything that just plays with that line. I mean, it's part of why I like Lady Death. Any kind of like, and then Heaven and Hell stuff. Anything about that's like treats heaven as literally as Marvel Comics treats hell, I'm in. So Judas from Boom, which was not Zeb Wells, who was it? Somebody who does TV work, but they like wrote the what happens to Judas after he dies in the circles of hell. I love Dante's Inferno. Like anything that treats heaven and hell as literal places, I'm a sucker.
What about Grimm, the Boom series by Stephanie Phillips?
I haven't read that yet, but is it good? People say that it's really good.
Music too. You and Jess will both love it.
I have to try it.
What about I'm forgetting the name. It's something deaf. It's by Shejin Shejik.
Death Vigil?
Death Vigil, yeah. Have you read that?
I haven't. It's been recommended to me for my magic and witches and stuff series that I'm trying to put out.
Yeah, it's great.
Ooh.
I wish there was more of it.
Jeff Loveness is the author I was thinking of, because he wrote the third Ant-Man movie, I think. But he wrote Judas. Is really cool. It's like biblically very accurate, because Jeff Loveness, I think, actually is studied in that, about like what would have happened to Judas's soul after he died, and what his arc of redemption in the afterlife would look at. Really, really cool, beautiful art.
Freddie, yes, it does include Steve Orlando. I enjoy his run, and that is enough for me.
You're not gonna read it though. That's fine.
That's Kane saying that, not me. She said she read it.
I'm calling KNBS. Fine, you're getting it.
Krisis, thank you so much. Sterling Silver, thank you so much for your X-Men reading order. Been such a big help. Also just finished Secret War 1985. Such an awesome Doom story.
It is an awesome Doom story. And an awesome Magneto story.
There's Lance. Good evening, all. I will buy anything She-Hulk or Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm right on the line for She-Hulk. I'm pretty close to just always getting anything She-Hulk. I'm pretty close.
I feel like I own everything possible for She-Hulk. Omnibus and trade paperback. I love the Rainbow Rowell slice of life She-Hulk. It's so fun.
Yeah, I like the Tamaki run, even though it's not the most positive one. I
like it.
The Shoal run, even though the art is cancer to your eyes.
What it is?
Wow, that was
like that's.
The Soul run. Yeah, that art. What is happening there? Yeah, I'm with you.
But
I don't know that I use cancer, but yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your eyes hurt from reading it. They bleed. I'll say that.
But I've never read the stuff between the two Byrne runs, like when he was taken off the book. So I don't know how that is.
Chris says, it was Sato and I that didn't like We Called Them Giants. And Nick, action figure stream is 100% for me, dog. Nick got me to buy, he totally baited me into buying a knockoff Agent Anti-Venom action figure. I never buy knockoffs, but his looked so good that I bought it. It's coming from China, probably put together by 6-year-olds in a sweatshop, and I'm still getting it. I'm sorry. I apologize to all of the Chinese children that had to put it together, but it looks really good. Peter, do you have the Lady Death Omnibus?
No, because the Omnibus is just of the Kickstarter comics, which I read and I don't anticipate rereading. As much as it does look like I buy truly everything, which I do for Epic Collections, when it comes to omnibuses and hardcovers, I really ask myself, am I going to read this 3 times? And if I don't think I'm going to read it 3 times, sometimes I'll still get, just if it's like coherently collected in that format, and am I going to read my Elvira paperback omnibus 3 times? Probably not, but this coherently collects something that I can't really get digitally, and I love Elvira, and so I'll do that. But when it comes to stuff like Lady Death, like I'm not going to reread those Kickstarter comics, y'all. I barely read them the one time. But if they did an omnibus of 90s Lady Death, or even the Lady Death origin stuff from Avatar, I would probably buy that.
Halo Tangle loves heists. I do too, and so does Bunk.
Yeah, those are fun.
John George Peppers, you already answered. Peter, are you reading Saladin Ahmed's Daredevil run? I've heard it plays with Catholic mythology in interesting ways.
And that's Peter why I F with it, because it hits my spot, my Catholic spot.
Okay. I'm way behind him. Wow. I can hear the rain from the basement. But I think I'm going to have to dive in. Way behind. I'm moving beyond the Catholic guilt. Sounds super cool and fun. Krisis, I bet you'll agree with me. The cover to this week's DD issue is so odd. Feels like Marvel is just asking JR to draw anything related to a character, regardless if it relates to the... Oh, you're already answering. Or something. Yeah. Yes. Now you're laughing at me for that knockoff figure. I know.
Wait, don't stop now. You're like 4 comments away from being caught up. And then
I know, but then I got to go back to what I missed. Those people are already in bed. Special shout out to those Chinese kids. They make fantastic licensed Godzilla figures. Surprisingly better than Japan's figures. Freddie, I am reading it. I wanted to get to Steve Orlando's latest design, but meeting just didn't happen. His next work with Spider-Man 29 will pre-purchase too. I like it and it works for me.
Is Steve Orlando in the room with you, Kane? What can we do?
Is he in the room
with you? Well,
I
mean, Matt's buying his Iceman, so the Steve Orlando fan is in the room with you right now, Freddie.
Well, I love Scarlet Witch, man. That's really good. That's really Steve good. Orlando's.
That's this one.
Sweet spot, man. I just love it.
I did buy that one for you, but I bought it for the cover for you. Yeah. No, but you've only read the Cena Grace one, right?
Of Iceman?
Yeah.
Iceman. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Oh, so it was the Cena Grace, another author I do not care for.
Oh.
Who is that?
That's okay. We can still be friends.
I don't know if I'm familiar
Cena
with
Grace.
That. Cena Grace.
Yeah, it's a book art writer that is kind of persona non grata at Marvel right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he kind of left in a little bit of a ball of flame when he departed from Marvel.
He made a big fuss. Yeah.
Oh dear. I think I'm.
But what is it? His image or his boom stuff? That's not great. Like the media stuff he did afterwards. I
I
haven't.
think
read
when he
it
puts his hands on a keyboard, it's not great.
You all know one of those.
I dig Orlando's Wonder Woman.
I did like his Wonder Woman. Actually, both runs I thought were great. I think what I've decided about Orlando is
Okay.
he's not a persona non grata for me. He has
Yeah.
certain characters he vibes with, and once he like gets the voice and like really locks in, then he's great. Like his Scarlet Witch is just delightful. It's like the best Scarlet Witch ever. I know some like classic Scarlet Witch fans aren't into it, and I get that she has continuity that people are attached to. I've been reading Scarlet Witch in comics for many decades, and I think it is delightful. But then I think there's some characters where Orlando gets on it and he just never finds that like the right voice or like the right point of view character. And that's what his Marauders felt like. I know he's a massive X-Men fan, but it just felt like he never had any one character that was like his way in, and that just kept happening for 12 issues. I think he assumed it was going to be Kitty Pryde, and it clearly wasn't. And then he never had another character that like got him there.
What,
But I'm always rooting everybody to be good. If there was a good Scene of Grace
definitely.
comic that happened, I would read it.
Was there a different writer for Marauders after he left?
No, so the first Marauders writer was Jerry Dugan. Then Jerry Dugan left, and then Orlando wrote it after Jerry Dugan.
Oh, okay. Well, I still like. Let me see what issue that was in.
And then I gotta start cooking dinner.
Okay.
we have to buy food to cook here.
Marauders. Okay, wait. This is one of my favorite Marauders stories in this. So who the hell wrote it?
Will it be a Dugan or an Orlando?
It was Dugan.
Yeah, you see.
Okay. It was in Trials of X, which is where I finished. Okay. So he wrote. I guess I haven't got to the Orlando stuff yet then.
Oh, you'll know.
Yeah, where I feel like Saladin and Steve Orlando are two writers that will accept any book that's offered to them, regardless if they have like an actual idea to do it. You know, it's like they're panicking, like, "Oh, they offered me Wolverine. I'm gonna say yes. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Wolverine."
Yeah, well, you know, we could have a whole other show about this, but I really like when certain publishers will keep taking a chance on an author to find something that fits them. I think this idea of like having somebody on one book and that book doesn't hit with fans, or it's not really critically well received or whatever, and then just tossing them aside is like, how are we ever going to develop good writers if we give everybody one chance and then we just punt them? And I feel like Marvel was definitely doing that for a little while a few years back, where people got they got 5 issues, and if their book didn't sell right out of the gates, they weren't invited back to the party. But I think Marvel now, with Steve Orlando, with Tern Grumback, with Stephanie Phillips, with Steve Fox, we're starting to see Marvel try people on a lot of different Alex Segura, Packnadel. We're starting to see Marvel try people in a bunch of books, and it's good. It gets frustrating for me when I think one of them just really is not showing any proficiency for the Marvel voices. I'm like, maybe Marvel's just not the right universe for them. But I think it's good because eventually when they do hit on something, you're like, great, well, I'm glad Marvel stuck with them. If Marvel had booted Steve Orlando after his first issue at Marvel, we never would have gotten Scarlet Witch. Yes. So like, even though I come down hard on these people, like I do want to see everybody write good comics. I think everybody's got good comics in them, and we got to find the right comic, you know?
Right. Do you have to go make dinner now?
I think we're at the 2-minute warning. I hear Kid Krisis rustling below, and it's time. I have to go make a sofrito to make Cuban beans and rice tonight.
Oh, okay. I'm actually all caught up on questions or chat things. I don't have the words right now. I'm out of energy.
Matt gave up on us.
No, Matt's over here.
Yeah, where is Matt?
Like 2 hours of this is plenty. You people are crazy. He would never last through a very fine vision stream because they go 3+.
Sorry, guys, I had to run real quick, but I am back. Hi.
Yeah,
I think we're wrapping up.
This is time to wrap up.
Yeah. Well, Matt, you've been a great addition to the stream. Thank you for joining.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoyed seeing the your collection and action figures and stuff. Back Kato, you missed the greatest show ever. You'll need to rewind.
I was very opinionated, which never happens.
Freddie, they can find you on
Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky. It's exactly the same without the F.
Okay. And I have a link in my description for Peter's website, Crushing Krisis. I'll have to make I think I have a bit.ly already for excuse me, for our Blue Skies. I'll probably have to make that.
If you want to hear me ramble about the non-comics topics that I've been rambling about, I'm on Blue Sky as Krisis with a K. And then if you want to follow my comic book content, I am Crushing Comics. Why are neither of them Crushing Krisis? I don't know. That would make really good branding, but that's not what I do. So if you want to read all of my reading orders, they are at crushingkrisis.com.
Okay. What? Okay. Okay, and you can find me. Okay, here's this. And then Freddie's Blue Sky. I'll have James text these to me so I can make that I can make bit.lys out of them and put them in the in my description. I've lost my mind. Okay. Thank you for being here, everybody. We appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and 2 hours just zipped by. 2 hours and 15 minutes zipped by because we had so much fun. We appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm Omnidog at Omnidog's Vault. I'm on Blue Sky. Go to the Omnidog's Vault one. I got to kill that other one. Also on Instagram, Omnidogs_Vault, and other place, and my Discord. Yeah. So
ended up making a new one instead of killing the one you had.
I have a new one. Yeah, this is. Oh, is this the one I want? Yeah, Omnidog's Vault is the one you want to go to on Omnidog Blue Sky. Yeah.
I followed both of them because I don't know which one it is.
I'll try and figure that out since I'm such a whiz at social media. So everybody, this was a great stream. Thank you, everybody in the chat. This was wonderful. I will use my theme song to play us out. And peace and love, peace and love. Be kind to each other, everybody. Please be kind to each other. And here we go.